Let's catch up some of the people that were not here real fast, and then we're going to get into some meat and potatoes. We had a really good session last night because, sorry, Jim. We got into some really good dialogue about, remember how we talked about there's two different sessions or two different methods we're going to teach. One is what we call corn planting, one's orange groves, right? And we got in some really good discussion on the corn planting because I had a lot of people that were interested in making money like tomorrow, all right? And so we said, okay, well, how are we going to go about that? And we had some implementers in the room that had already been out there and already sat 4 or 5 of these bank-owned open houses since the last time we met 3 weeks ago. Because they just said, hey, I'm not going to wait around. I'm just going to go figure this out and did it. And by the way, I'm a huge fan of that. So good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Wonderful. How
good,
are you?
Good. And so with that in mind, we had some real, and they had some good feedback of what had occurred at those open houses and so on and so forth. Because remember, our goal is to try and get you, again, profitable to whatever level that might mean. And it's going to be a totally different than probably most real estate training that's out there, because everybody else teaches you, hey, go get a lot of listings. Great idea. How the am I supposed to do that, right? Okay. All right. That sounds wonderful. Yeah, you think. All right. It's like, that was my answer. Go get a lot of listings. Okay. All right. Okay. I got a box of cards. Go get them, Tiger. Right. Okay. So we're going to talk about how we back into our listings a little bit. Most people say list to get your buyers. We're going to say work with buyers to get your listings. And say, well, that's not efficient. Well, either is making zero money. That's not very efficient either. All right. And that's where I find a lot of realtors are stuck in chasing the elusive listing and making $0. And that's why 80% don't make any money. Right. And so how do we get to that other stage? All right. So we'll talk about that. All right. So if we go through this, remember we talk about mindset a lot. Okay. If you by the way, non-future home agents, the first session I'm going to have, I just put a call into my assistant because I realized I hadn't loaded. We record the morning session of this. We teach these. So last morning session, the intro was recorded. If you're an FHR agent, you can find it on FHRUniversity.com. If you're not an FHR agent, I'll load it up to the Facebook page. I thought it was already there, but it's not. So you can watch it. By the way, Facebook page, this right here is this group page. Facebook.com/groups. If you got a friend that's in it already, they can request that you do it because it's a permission in. About 1,700 people in there. But I try and keep an eye out. So because I do allow vendors, like there's some lenders and some title companies. But trust me, you get 1,600 real estate agents in a group, and every mortgage person in the world thinks they need to belong, and every lender or title company in the world thinks they need to belong. So there are rules about them. They can only answer questions. Right? If you go, hey, I need a good lender that has a program for this, then the lenders can, all right? But before that, we can't promote. Lenders aren't allowed to promote, or title companies allowed to promote unless they're doing some type of training that we're on board with, and we can allow them to do that. So you can invite those people as well, but trust that you're not going to get bombarded. It's not going to be a needless thread. It's a pretty helpful thread, by the way. How many of you guys go to Facebook or the 100K page? Quite a bit. You should, because if you have questions, contractually, you need referrals for different things. It's a really good resource of people there. That being said, also is where we will announce our next meetings, all right, through this. No, you didn't get an email reminding you about this one, right? And so this is going to be where we are going to post all of our announcements regarding our upcoming 100K meetings. Cool? Got that business out of the way. So if you want to see all of this that we went through kind of in-depthly last time, all right, watch the replay of it, because that's where we're going to roll through and we kind of launch the intro. All right, but I don't want to bore those who are already in it. All right, this is simple.
I got it.
All right, that's the first thing we start with. Here's our premise. All right, good job. All right. By the way, we had a Polish speaking, and I can't remember what my line was. She told me how to say this is simple. All right, but this is easy, right? I got this part in Polish. Mamto. Mamto, like mom. Okay. Toe. All right, mamto. All right? So when I say this is simple, what's that?
It's not the exact.
What is it?
It's like I get it.
I get it. Okay, all right. Okay, then fair enough. All right. So mamto is I get it. All right? All right. It's if I got this as
Not this, but not this is simple.
well, I know this is simple. That was my line, and it was a lot harder. It was like or something like that. And I forgot that one. I can remember Momto, all right? That was easy for me to remember even tomorrow, the next morning, right? But the first part, I had it last night, but I don't have it anymore. All right. So Our whole premise here, though, is that real estate training tries to overcomplicate this business way too much. All right? To be successful in real estate, and again, success is whatever success means for you, right? It can mean different things to different people. What it means to Kristen is different than what it means to me, it means different to Jay, and so on and so forth, right? So whatever you set that level of success for you as, don't overcomplicate this thing, right? We're going to go with hey, this is a pretty simple process. We're just going to follow some pretty simple recipes, all right? Might zest a few lemons here and there, all right? But other than that, all right, that's okay. And so we're going to take a mantra of this is simple, Momto, all right? Okay. Understand the power of the mind. We're going to learn to stop doing this. Okay. We're going to learn to replace our fear and failure habits that have engrossed our lives for far too long, right? And we're going to start looking at the positives and the ways that we can go. We're going to pre-play our what we're looking to achieve. Again, about honest. Remember we talked about this, being honest about where we're starting. So many people, want to draw a map from here to there, but they're not honest about where here is, right? And we got to realize that. And by the way, our changes are going to have to be some things that we talked about. Remember those LYs that we covered later, right? The 4 LYs that we're going to learn to grow spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, physically, right? And that in culmination is going to add us to or lead us to financial growth, right? So we talked about the 5 LYs a lot. 4 LYs leading to the 5th LY, all right? And to commit to being accountable for your actions. Remember Covey, all right? Till a person can honestly look themselves in the mirror and say, I am where I am today because of choices I've made, all right? No one can effectively make a change. Until we can honestly say, hey, you know what? It's not easy to say. The amount that's in my bank account right now is a direct reflection on my actions, period. It's not the government's fault. It's not my parents' fault. It's not my grandparents' fault. It's not how far back in the DNA you want to go. All right, great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpa's fault. He'd only made that land deal. All right, if Grandpa had only bought IBM back in the day, all right, okay, whatever, right? We loved it. What's that? Berkshire Hathaway, right? Exactly. Any of the list goes on. All right, but until we can, and things like this. My scale says what it is because of choices I've made. Okay, not because it's not anybody else's fault. It's not because they lied to me and there was 16,000. Anytime you look on the ingredients thing, and the sodium level says 3 times 10 to the power of 5. All right. Okay, when they start using scientific notation in there, all right, you're in trouble. All right, that's way too much salt. All right, but it's all because of choices I make. Right, is what I'm going to do. So we've got to be agree to commit to being accountable for our actions. All right, so we started to paint a picture. All right, we told some bad news. Remember, about 80% of realtors don't make any money. All right, okay, 80% less gross, less than 46,000 in GCI. Right, and the other 20% average about 199. Right, and so that was the bad news. But we looked at it as good news because that really said, hey, look, there's really no competition. Right, that our competition really doesn't exist. As many times as we hear all the people tell us, oh, there's so many realtors, there's so many, and I get it. All right, our job is to rescue. How many people? I mean, we talked about this, right? That there are bad realtors out there. Yeah. So your job is to rescue the consumer public from bad realtors. All right, you need to get to them before they have a chance to meet the bad realtor. Right? That's my job is to, hey, you know what? I know your aunt's a realtor, but she's a bad one. Seriously, all right? Have that conversation, right? Say, hey, look, you know what? It's a big financial decision. Just because you have same bloodlines, that mean you're going to use her? I'd interview her a little bit. Now, when it's your niece, you say, hey, look, you got to use me because I'm your aunt, right? Okay, but it's all, you got to turn that around, but it's whatever it's going to work for you. All right, so we're going to imagine this. Netting 100 grand. Remember we just talked about netting 100 grand is just a number, right? You put a number in there. Why do we talk dollar numbers? Well, you know what? Until things change, and if it does, let me know, but until things change, it takes money to live, all right? And it's a measurement, all right? It's a place to put ourselves where we want to go. Now, is it the most important thing? You know me, I told you my 5 LYs, it's the last LY, right? Okay, so I'm not saying it's the most important thing, but it is a means of measurement. So you put your number in there. Enjoying the real estate business. Remember, we're going to do this thing because we want to do it, not because we're forced to do it. If you don't want to do real estate, if you don't enjoy people, if you don't enjoy showing houses, if you don't enjoy the whole process, get out, right? Leave. All right, there are other things you can do to go be crabby. All right? Go be crabby elsewhere. All right? We don't have time for it here. All right? And remember too, those of you who are new, because we don't charge any money for this training, that's the good news. The bad news is you've also lost your right to be offended by me. All right? Okay? Because when it's free, you're unoffendable, right? Or if you don't like it, leave and I'll double refund your money, right? It's okay. It's nice and easy. So, all right. And how about working with the people you want to work with? How about if we can show you get so busy that you can pick and choose, right? So many times, initially, hey, you know what? They're a jerk, but my only client right now, so here we go. Right? How about if we get so busy that we can pick and choose who we do and don't work with, right? That's a better way to go. Trust me. I've been there. Controlling the transaction, get organized, right? This is all we're going to do is we're going to get organized. Control the transaction. Okay, quit running around with your chicken with your head cut off, right? Because by the way, running around with your chicken like a chicken with your head cut off does not elicit all sorts of confidence in your client, right? They're like, hey, if you're freaking out, all right, when the appraisal doesn't come in, why are you involved in this transaction, right? Why are we, and we talked about the fact that 6% is a lot of money. It really is.
Yeah.
Isn't it incredible? All right. In the financial services arena, could you ever get 6%? No way. People would throw you out the window.
1/10 of 1%.
Yeah, right. Exactly, right? And so 6%, and we just think it's, you're going to give me $12,000 on a $200,000 sale. Right? And the sellers are like, what are you talking about?
Equity.
That's right. It's the entire amount of my equity gone after, I'm the one that's stinking putting these pavers by hand because I was going to save $800 instead of hiring somebody. And I did all this, and now you're telling me that's all gone? Just because you passed a flipping test? And you have access to the MLS and I don't? Seriously, that's a lot of people's value proposition. And that's why 80% don't make any money. Right? So we're going to talk about that. Control your finances. Okay, we joked about reading the menu left to right instead of right to left, right? Can we get to a point where I actually can eat what I'm hungry for, not because of how much it costs, right? I mean, we joke around, $4.99, that's
There's still a value.
Okay,
There's still a point where.
Absolutely, right, exactly.
Even if you're looking.
Well, and that's being a wise, shrewd, investor and a shrewd, because every time we spend $1, you're investing money, right? You understand that, right? Every dollar spent is an investment, and is there a value proposition in there? All right? Does the Kobe steak really worth $87? I don't know. All right, okay? I get it. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. All right. By the way, have you ever had Kobe steak? It's pretty good. And there's a difference in value of food, right? I mean, there's good meat and there's bad meat, all right? And so, and by the way, if you're a vegetarian, too bad. All right, you lost your right to be offended. I told you. All right, okay, you can't be offended by us. And what did we say, paleo this last time, right? Yeah, I get that. All right, hashtag paleo this. All right. You know what? I don't know if we covered this last time. I know we didn't in the Tuesday night session, so I talked about it. So if I did, forgive me. All right. Here's the idea behind controlling our finances. Here's why we want to be financially successful. Because we are better real estate consultants when we are not feeling inward pressure to make a sale. Are you with me? Okay. Here at Future Home, we like to teach people to be real estate consultants, not real estate salespeople, right? A consultant is going to help guide you down the path to a right financial decision based upon your current circumstances and what's in play right now. All right? That is totally different than, dadgummit, you're signing a contract today because I got to pay my mortgage next month. Are you with me? All right? There's a big difference there. So once we get ourselves in a position where we're covered, all right, we got this thing under control. By the way, the sooner you can do that, all right, the freer you become and the more consultative you become in your approach to this business, the more money you make. It's just, it comes back in huge. I mean, remember we give value with a garden hose and it comes roaring back at us in a fire hose, right? That's what we're going to do. That's all we teach is let's just go give massive value. Did I tell you the story about the couple that was trying to sell their home in Largo last time? No. So here's an example of this. I just want to teach you about doing the right thing. So I got called, it was was many, many years ago. But so my sister-in-law's friend needed to sell their home, right? So I go meet, and the wife, right, was there. Boyfriend is there. Ex-husband, who also is on the deed to the, well, soon-to-be ex-husband, is not there, but he's on the deed, right? I pulled up public records ahead of time, right? So they wanted me to list this home. I said, okay, so I get it. We got a divorce situation coming along, and so on and so forth. And the irony is that the ex-husband is a cop, the boyfriend's a cop, all right? So they know each other. It's one of those, these jumbled messes, right? Oh, yeah, I've been there. So I'm sitting there, and they're like, all right, so goal is to sell this, and then you guys want to buy a home together. And they said, yeah, all right, great. And what are you looking for in the next home? They said, well, we'd like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage in, the general Largo Seminole School District. And I'm looking around, and I said, I said, am I not sitting in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage in the Largo Seminole School District? And they said, oh, yeah. And I said, well, what's the end play here? And they said, well, I said, why wouldn't you just stay here? Oh, that'll never happen. The ex-husband, no way. He's not sleeping in my bedroom. And yeah, you know what I mean? I got it, okay? All that. And I said, okay, well, I get that. All right, and I understand. By the way, I'm going to have a discussion with the soon-to-be ex-husband anyway, because he's on title here. All right, so you can't sign any listing agreement that's valid without his signature on it as well. So I'm going to have a discussion with him. But how if I talk to him, and why wouldn't you guys potentially talk to a lender about getting a mortgage, because you're thinking about getting a mortgage to buy a new home, get a mortgage together to buy out this home, like refinancing this one, cash out enough to then give him his equity, and you're saving commissions. Right? People are like, hello, you idiot, you're talking yourself out of the commission, right? Okay, but I was in a position where I was going to be consultative, right? So I did that, and they said, no way, never happened. I said, I get it. Emotions are high, so let me talk to the guy. And first of all, I called the guy, ex-husband, soon-to-be ex-husband, just floated the idea out there, and I had the hope, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, no, effing get you, man, it was like, it's like the guy, the dad from Christmas Story when he's working on the furnace down there. Rocka, schmacka, laka, fracka, right? Okay. So just kind of rolling at me, and I just it said, slow it down. Hey, look, I'm going to show you, you're going to keep an extra, your extra half is going to be an extra like 18 grand if we do it this way. The other way, which represented the entire, equity again, once you know what I mean. So I can save you 18 grand, or you can pay it all to me, through the whole chain of events and lenders and everything else. So he goes, let me think about it, and slowed down, okay, called me back about 4 days later and said, hey, you know what, I think you're right, all right? So that's what we ended up doing, okay? Well, the nice thing is, this guy had 18 grand that he wasn't going to have if we had done it, okay? So he was thinking about just moving in. He'd already moved into an apartment, signed like a 3-month or a month-to-month lease. So I ended up selling him a home, right? The soon-to-be ex-husband that was cussing at me early. Okay, there's that. Now here's your down payment, right? So now we have that. These people, all right, over the course of a year, I counted 5 deals referred to me. Wow. Right? What? Hey, you want a guy who's going to do the right thing for you? Let me tell you a story. How good does that story play? Right? We were thinking about selling our home. We didn't really want to move, but he talked my ex-husband through all this, and next thing, Well, I'm like a hero, right? I'm a rock star amongst their friends. And now, but again, it's just being consultative, right? That we're going to do, hey, look, what's right for the client? And when you do enough right things come flooding back at you, right? And so, but had I not been in a position, right, that I could have delayed gratification a little bit, or if I was only looking at my commission dollar, which sometimes we can get, I get it, I've been there. People say, oh, I would never steal. I'd say, well, I would never say that, right? Because things got bad and my kids were hungry, all right? Watch it. Here we go. If that's what it took, oh, yeah, but you'd lose your integrity. Yeah, I know, but I'd have feed my kids, all right? I'll pay them back later. Seriously. All right, let me go get back on my hand, because I never say never. By the way, Trump or the Swan, everybody, you guys know E.B. White? E.B. White wrote Charlotte's Web, okay? He has a follow-up book in there called The Trumpet of the Swan. You got to get this book. It is the best book ever. I'm telling you, E.B. White, and by the way, I listened to the audio version. I got it when Joseph was like 3. We got it at the library, and it is the funniest picture of societal interactions, right? It's a story of this trumpeter swan that doesn't have a voice, all right? And he's one of 5 brothers. And his dad, all this stuff. And and it's so funny because the cob is what a male swan is called. All right, the cob is the dad. But he ends up flying and breaking into a music store in Billings, Montana, all right, and crashes through the thing and gets a trumpet for his son, all right, who has no voice because he can't get married because that's the only thing that attracted you to me was my voice, honey. And so they have all these dialogues. And it's E.B. White reading this, by the way, and there's nothing better than the author reading their own book because they know exactly what they meant and what they were thinking when they wrote it. And you just got to, I'm telling you, listen to the audio version, you'll love it, all right? And it has nothing to do with any of this other than, stealing. And so he had to steal a trumpet, right? He had to steal a trumpet so his son could do it. And later on, Louis becomes this famous trumpeter, and he's playing at the Ritz in Boston. It's funny, okay? It's a great story, but he makes all this money, and he goes back and pays back. He gives it to his dad, and his dad carries it back and pays back the music shop owner, right? Exactly, by doing. Okay, so control your finances, all right? From what's your life being true to our priorities, discovering our purpose in life, right? Getting up because we're excited to do it, right? Remember we talked about the difference in good morning, Lord, and good Lord, it's morning? Yes. All right, okay. All right, we want to have that good morning, Lord kind of attitude. And creating a residual income from the real estate business, we're going to talk about that. How do we create an ongoing residual from this business? A lot of people just, hey, look, I'm just trying to pay next month's bills. I get that, all right? But what if we could get beyond that and then not just get beyond, hey, look, let me invest a little bit and be able to retire, but how about creating a book of business that's sellable, willable, that kind of thing? Right? Remember we talked about the insurance agents do that all the time. Why don't we as real estate agents do that? We should. All right? We'll talk about that. And this is simple. Momto. All right. Good deal. All right. That all sounds great, Bob. How are we going to do it? Remember, this is simple. Yeah? We're going to study those who are doing it and have done it. Okay? So we're going to study, and then we're going to cheat. Remember, that's what we talked about. We're going to copy them. Copy. We're not going to reinvent the wheel. Other people have been successful ahead of us. Why try and do something different, right? We're just going to study, again, smart people, right? People that have figured it out. Submit to the law of the harvest. I'm telling you guys, this is the most powerful line in the whole thing. There are so many people in life, not just in real estate, that want to cheat the law of the harvest. Okay? It's a law. Can't cheat it. It's like the law of gravity. All right? I wouldn't want to try and tempt fate and, I don't feel like it's in play today. Okay? The law of the harvest is in play. All right? It says, if you don't sow, you're not going to. Yeah. But it does say, if you do sow, you cannot. All right? That's the good news about the law of the harvest. If you sow, you will reap. It is impossible not to reap. I'm just telling you, it has to happen. We're overseeding, right, in fescue lawns. We're overseeding in Nashville area right now. So they overseeded my lawn, and some of it fell onto our driveway. Stuff is finding in cracks and growing, you know what I mean? There. They blow it, and it doesn't matter, right? It didn't matter that, hey, there wasn't proper soil, there wasn't peat on top, there wasn't all the stuff that they sold me the extra on that I do it. So look, you didn't put any peat on the driveway and it's growing just fine, all right? I think I got oversold on that peat idea, all right? Okay, that being said, stuff happens when you do the work, right? But stuff does not happen if you don't do the work. Remember we talked about reading Proverbs? I was reading my proverb this morning. Today is the 12th, right? Remember I read a proverb every morning that is, correlates to the month, the day of the month, right? So it's the 12th. So check out, there's one early on in Proverbs 12. Here's a good one. Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but he who hates correction is stupid. Ouch. That was a tough one to read at 6:42 this morning. It's like, geez, come on, man. Let's go a little bit easier. How about that whole, yea, though I walk through you, I'll always be with you. How about that one? All right, okay. There's the ones, the plans of the wicked, the words of the wicked man, a man is praised, better to be a nobody, a righteous man. Oh yeah, here we go. Proverbs 12:11. He who works his land will have abundant food, but he who chases fantasies lacks judgment. Yeah, but you know what? Hard work is hard, right? Okay, I'd rather just, what about maybe if I just invest in this and possibly it'd be a billionaire tomorrow? Yeah, it's possible, all right? Let it ride on red 23, all right? Okay, for 6 times straight, and you'd be very wealthy. Good luck with that one, all right? My probability and statistics class tells me that it's not going to happen a whole lot of times, 6 times in a row, right? So, but there's a chance, right? And if you're chasing fantasies, all right, okay, it's not going to work. But he who works his land will have abundant food, period. It's the law of the harvest. It's the first thing I said, okay? That was 643. I said, that's even better than, hey, if I hate correction, I'm stupid, all right? Just call me stupid now. I hate correction, all right? Okay, it's a lot easier to do. That being said, submit to this, right? Remember we talked about the little red hen, all right? Who will help me plant the seed? Not I, barked the dog. Not I, meowed the cat, right? All those, okay? And then who wanted to eat the bread? Everybody, all right? And little red hen said, eh, eh. You guys use ant? Who has dogs? All right, you guys ant your dog? All right, I ant Trixie all the time. She's ant. She knows. All right, okay, that's a great line, isn't it? Ant. It's universal. I think it works in every language, right? Okay, you go through and through. You just kind of, you know what I mean? Okay, okay. All right, we all have different versions of it. Okay. All right. Yeah, right. Exactly. I do to them as well sometimes too. That's a good point. All right. We're going to learn from our mistakes. That's okay. It means we're going to be okay. It's okay to make mistakes, and we're going to learn from them. All right. Because remember in the book, we're going to cover in a second, but in the book, he talks about the upward spiral of life. Remember that? Where we learn, we implement, we fail, and then we evaluate that failure. And then we're now coming at the next opportunity with a higher level of learning, all right, because of the growth that we experience through the failure. All right. But if you remember that upward spiral of life, what's the I represent? Implement. Ooh. That means that requires doing. Right? A lot of us go, learn, that's it. Right? That's what we call bagel to bagel, remember? Learn, eat a bagel, learn, don't do it. Wake up the next morning, eat a bagel, learn, don't do it. Okay, go through this cycle. By the way, no bagels here. We still have those mandarins I brought from last night. They're very good, by the way. Those are very, very good mandarins. Okay, learn from our mistakes. Grow personally in all those areas, right? The 4 LYs, we're going to grow. And then the 5th LY financially comes as a byproduct. Feed off the synergy. Stop accepting our lame excuses because we all make them, right? We all have them. We all make them. Stop accepting it from yourself, all right? You wouldn't accept it from your kids. All right, how about treat yourself like you treat your kids? Probably be a better way, I know, okay? It's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. We can keep, there are a lot of sayings out there, by the way, been around a long time, and they mean a lot if you start to think about it, right? Okay? Live in accountability, turn off the television, right? Nothing good on there anyway. Remember we talked about every time I watch television, I feel like I have a disease I didn't know I had, and I've got to sue somebody, right? Okay? You know, I got this new ache and pain, and then, you know, and trust me, I'm at 50, soon to be 52, all right? I'm getting bombarded with, hey, low energy, all right? You know, I'm like, God, la, 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 I don't want to hear it, right? I don't want to talk about that, all right? Live a disciplined life because there's freedom and structure. How about that one? Chew on that bad boy for a minute. Freedom in structure. The more structured I am, the freer I become. Here's where we brought the illustration and said, hey, look, the most productive day you have all the time is the day before your vacation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Why? Because you're getting on a plane tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. and you're leaving for the airport at 6:30. All right? It's now 10 a.m. the day before. All right? I've got 14 things to do before I leave for the airport at 6:30. So I better make a list. And I better be productive today because guess what? The dog needs to get to the kennel, right? Has to happen. This needs to happen. I got to pick up the dry cleaner. Got to do that. We go through, right? All these different lists of things. It's a very productive day because we know we're out, right? Also, we joke that in real estate, it also means we get busy. People we hadn't heard from in 3 years all of a sudden want to see houses on Saturday because you're going on a plane on Friday. All right, I get that. That's cool. And we talked about, hey, let's just plan a trip every weekend, right? And fake them out, and then just cancel it. All right, I changed my mind. All right, but we are seeing property on Saturday because you said what you wanted to do. I haven't heard from you in 3 years, and now we're on, okay? So that's just a good way to go. Oh, there we go. Actually implement this time. All right, again, don't just learn it to learn it. All right? Remember, we got a lot of hashtags. Here's one for you. To know and not to do is not to know. Right? We talk about that. To know and not to do is not to know. Why waste your time knowing or learning something if you're not going to do it? All right? It's just a waste of time. Go do something else. Go there's probably some Law and Order of something, SVU, special, whatever. There's some Law and Order you could be watching right now instead of listening to me. All right, if you can do it. Yes, ma'am.
What's your advice to, once you've sown and you're waiting to reap?
Yep.
When it's taken forever.
Yep. To reap.
I've been doing open houses.
Yep.
For bank-owned properties.
Awesome.
For more than 6 months, 8
Yep.
months, whatever.
I'm going to teach you some strategies here in a minute. Okay, because I made some of these small tweaks last night. Some people had the very similar thing, all right? And what I've learned to teach people to do, and you may not like what I'm going to say, but I'm going to tell you if you make this tweak, I think it'll change what the results you're getting back from those, okay? So hang on a second when we get into the corn plant. Great question, though, and not uncommon, all right, to do. Wow. Habit 3, all right? We talked about that. I forgot that I had this on the slide. All right, we'll talk about that later, all right? By the way, this book, real quick, this is not 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This is just some wisdom and some excerpts from a lot of Covey's teaching, all right? Have you ever read Covey? Little things you could read just, blurbs at a time. He has different things, all right? Just, pick anything. Leadership, principle of... Habit is the intersection of knowledge, what to do, skill, how to do, and desire, want to do. That's a good one. Okay? I picked this up. I'm going to start... you guys know that Gen Z, right, which is after the millennials, Gen Z is basically anywhere from 14-year-old to about 26-year-old right now, okay, they're already on pace to out-earn the millennials, right? They're going to outbuy real estate, millennials in big ways, right? Because they're like, hey, while you guys are sucking your thumb in the corner, all right, okay, I'm going to go ahead and buy all the stuff that you guys are too busy complaining about. All right? So Gen Z wants nothing to do with what again, and I know I'm not here to lump everybody into any one group, all right? But Gen Z is going to have buying potential beyond things. So with that in mind, these are going to become Instagram posts for me. I don't even know, I have an Instagram account, but I don't even know how to get on it, all right? So I'm going to have to learn and start posting there because Gen Z says, face what? What's Facebook? What's his name? All right, they don't know who that is, right? They don't know what Facebook is. They don't care what Facebook is, all right? So you better learn, start talking to these people because they are our next buying power, all right? And quite frankly, as a real estate broker, they're my next level of agent. Those are the agents coming on board right now. They're going to kill it in this business, and they're going to kill you as an older agent if you're experienced, seasoned, what do we call you? Seasoned agent, all right? As a seasoned agent, if you aren't prepared to deal with it, right? And be on the move, okay? So just be prepared for that. What's that?
Antique.
Yeah, antique, there you go, exactly. Classic, there, love it, all right? Vintage, you got all sorts of, who's got their thesaurus out, man? Somebody's just rolling all sorts of them, I love that, all right? Trust the process, here's our menu, here's our recipe. Talked about Marley Spoon, right? I'm the chef of the world now because I can read a 8.5 by 11 card and follow instructions, right? But all I'm doing, is just following instructions. I'm trusting the process. I'm like, really? I'm going to put that in? Why would you put that in? Well, just skip it, all right? Let's just skip that part. Time, right? Well, who needs time, right? Okay, well, you put time in. And by the way, I'm a punster, so when Jeanette and I were making the one that had all the time, I had the time puns just rolling. All right, they were just coming out of me just like it. Okay, so this reminds me, 10th grade English, we had to write a little story or something. And so I remember in my house growing up, when I was in that age group, my mom had this wallpaper and had all the different parsley, sage, rosemary, and yeah, it sounds like a Simon and Garfunkel song, right? Doesn't it? Okay, it's because it is. All right, but had all the spices up there, right, and it was there. And so I wrote this story because I was a kind of funny guy. Still am. Would you say?
Yes.
Okay, all right. But if I don't say so myself. So I wrote this story about this kid whose job was his older times, right? His mom made these overalls because she grew all these spices, and her job, but basically the way they made income as a family is that he would go and deliver this to people in the village, right? So to make it easier for him, she made different pockets on his overalls, right? Number 1, number 3, number 7, all these different numbers, and put the different spice in each one. Well, he got to his delivery, and he found out that there was one of these spices was not there because there was a hole in the pocket, and it all had fallen out. So he went home, and his mom had to stitch that up, and she stitched up that pocket. It happened to be pocket number 9, and the moral of the story was, a stitch in 9 saves time. See? That's a good one right there. You got to admit, all right? Come on. A stitch in 9 saves time. Get it? Stitch in time saves 9. Everybody get that? Get the irony there? Okay, perfect. All right. Trust the process, all right? So we're going to just follow the recipe, right? Follow the recipe over and over and over again and trust that it works. Even though it's been 6 months and I'm sitting there, okay, sometimes we have to make a small tweak to our recipe, right? And we're about to do that for you, all right? But we're going to make some small tweaks to the recipe, but I'm going to trust it. It's worked for other people, all right? Let's do it, okay? All right? And consistently evaluate progress. Remember we had 2 hashtags here, trip to the moon? Remember we showed that slide about the trip to the moon? Those of you who haven't seen it, it's a great one. All right, where we make a small tweaks. And the other one we talked about, weed yourself daily. Right, I mean, my 2 neighbors, we had Robert and, why is his name eluding me? Okay, it's, he's the greatest guy. Robert's the bad neighbor. Was it?
It's not Smokes.
No, Smokes is my new neighbor, right, exactly. Smokes is the good neighbor now. He's funny. All right, Smokes is the one who came up with it. We told you about he who has a 5th on the 4th finds it hard to come forth on the 5th. That's a love one. I love that. He told me that on 4th of July. So that's a good one, Smokes. I'm going to remember that one. All right. So we're going to, what is his name? Bill. Thank you very much. Okay. Bill and Nancy. Bill, was the good neighbor. He weeds himself daily because what he does, he every day when he checks his mail, he weeds his flower bed like this. Ding, ding, and he's done. Robert avoids it for a year and has to get a backhoe out, right, to get the weeds out of his flower bed. We're going to learn that we're going to evaluate our progress more often, and the sooner we evaluate our progress, the smaller the tweak we have to make to get the results we're looking for. Fair enough? Okay? All right? Okay, so we talked about this, and here we go. All right? System 1, we call it corn planting because it's fast. It's a way I can show you how to make money. I'm here to tell you, okay, look me in the eye, that those of you who will implement this and implement it with maybe some adjustments, all right, can come back next time we meet in 2 weeks with a new deal, at least one, under contract with somebody you have no idea who they are and they have no idea who you are right now. Okay? Sound good? All right? That's a winner. That's worth my cost of admission. All right, okay? All right, geez. At least that. All right? But here's the reality, is our goal is to get in front of people.
Yeah.
That's it. Remember here's the longest hashtag we have. Eyeball to eyeball beats pixel to eyeball every day of the week. Right? Mm-hmm. You are spending way too much time diagnosing which CRM is the best. You're spending way too much time diagnosing how you're going to run the best Facebook ad. You are spending way too much time. Do all that. I don't care if you do it in an open house. All right? Multitask. Get in front of people so while you're researching your CRM, you can actually have a chance of meeting somebody who might be interested in buying or selling real estate. Period. There's your floor time. Go make it happen. All right? Now, we teach, this is simple. Yeah. If you're going to last in this business, you better list is what everybody else teaches, right? List. And I say, great. How do I do that, right? So we're going to teach work with buyers. We're going to say if you have enough buyers, your listings will come as a result of your buyers rather than vice versa. All right, happens all the time, okay? We don't call them open houses. We call them traffic TGEs, traffic generating events. Who was my friend that had all the acronyms? You. All right, yeah. Okay, right, Dodie, you had all the acronyms for you. You're part of the Better, Bel Air, Bluffs, GWEB, yeah.
GBYS, and I'm the leader of a SIG group.
Yeah, SIG group inside of GBYS, exactly. Yeah, right, exactly. See? Yeah, see, that's right. So we're going to have traffic TGEs, traffic generating events. That means we're going to give us a chance to get in front of people because we know that eyeball to eyeball beats pixel to eyeball every day of the week. Somebody could be on Twitter and Zillow right now researching homes, okay, looking for the perfect home. And as much as the ads will tell you that Realtor.com is the answer and everything else, and these people are there, I don't care. Let them go there, right? Find a kind of home and all that kind of stuff so they have a little bit of knowledge in the industry, knowledge of the market and all that kind of stuff. And then they come rolling into my open house, I win. Every time. I don't care how many times I saw you've paid thousands of dollars to have your face show up on the sidebar every time they're searching homes in whatever zip code 33626, right? Doesn't matter. You bought these 33626 and dadgummit, I'm going to get, all right, you got it, her face. There she is again. There's Dodie. Meet me at the open house. Dodie loses, I win. Okay, no offense to Dodie. I'm not saying I'm just picking out on Dodie right now, but I'm just saying that's the way it rolls. If you have the confidence when they walk in the door, and if you're willing to say, hey, you know what? I've got 38 seconds to win them over. Period. And the whole idea, trust me, we get to hear, I show people how to get a lot of traffic, right? You're going to have to learn to convert. I can't convert for you, but I can help you with some ideas that will, I'll be honest with you, when I first started teaching this, people saying, Bob, we're getting traffic. Great, how many deals we got? None. I'm like, I'm scratching my head, saying, how in the world could you have 13, 14, 18 people through and have no business? I do not get it. I never experienced it. No, don't get me wrong. Remember, there are 4 criteria. Who remembers the 4 criteria for a buyer for us?
Ready to buy.
Okay. Number 1, the most important is? Able. Okay. Able to buy means financeable, right? Cash in the pocket, all right? Okay. Able to buy, or, okay, a qualified person from a mortgage company that you know, okay? All right? Able to buy is critical. Willing to buy, okay? Willing to buy means, hey, you know what? They're not somebody that says, yeah, if you can find something in the next decade, okay? That's, all right, that's great, but I need somebody that's a little, you know what? I got to pay my mortgage sooner than that, okay? I got a lot of mortgages happening. I got 120 of them, to be exact, that are due in the next decade, all right? So that's great, but, you know, we need something a little more urgency, okay? So we got able, willing, needs. All right, here's a need. Hey, my lease is up in 45 days. Here's a need. We just moved here from so-and-so. Hey, here's a need. My wife and I are getting a divorce, and you know what I mean? Okay, those are all needs, right? They need a place to live. They need to buy. And the last one, anybody remember that one?
Ready?
Okay, almost.
Loyal.
Thank you. Loyal to you, right? 4 criteria. Able, needs, willing, able. Loyal. Okay, loyal to you is critical, and not loyal to you because they signed an exclusive buyer agency agreement. I get it. Get them signed all you want. Have fun. All right, go to court with that one. Because that's what you have to do. You have to sue them in civil court. The buyer. All right? You're not suing anybody else. You're suing the buyer in civil court for breach of contract because they signed a contract with you saying they're going to use you to buy a home. All right? Good luck with that one. I say, hey, you know what? Touche, I'll remember that. Don't refer any of your friends to me because if that's the way you're going to roll, that's good. But at the end of the day, I never got burned and, you know, or I rarely got burned. If I did, I'd say, you know what, chalk it up. Hey, what could I have done better to make them more loyal? All right? Where was the difference? You know, and it could have been the answer is, hey, you know what, they're just a shyster. Okay, great. All right? Shame on me, all right? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, ain't happening, right? So not going to happen. All right. So we're going to learn all these things through our traffic generating events. Now we teach this, bank-owned open houses. Now you've sat them. Where have you been sitting your bank-owned open houses?
Tarpon Springs,
Yep.
Pasco County.
Where are you getting your bank-owned open houses?
I know a broker who
Nice.
moved out of town. She does exclusively REOs.
Perfect.
I sit on it.
Awesome. And she's willing, not with Future Home Realty, and she's willing to allow you to sit these open houses, gives you permission to sit them. Okay? Let me ask you this. Okay, and yeah.
After we left the first session, I called Jamie Maloney.
Yeah?
It's been a while since I talked to him, and he said he would be happy to let anybody again sit his bank-owned open houses.
Awesome. Can you post that on 100K group page? Awesome. So what's his name?
Jamie Maloney.
Jamie Maloney. Okay, I've heard. Perfect. Awesome. Jamie Maloney. All right. You can, again, how do I find these people?
Baker, South Tampa, but
Yeah.
he is a REO specialist.
Yeah, has them all over. He used to be partners with Christina Griffin or whatever, and
They
now.
were never partners, they're just really good.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So, but how do you find them to begin with? Right? Obviously, she knows somebody, has a broker friend that that has these REO listings. And why REO, by the way? Does it have to be? No. All
It
right.
just draws people in, though.
It does, exactly. You put foreclosure on the sign, bank foreclosure, open house, all right? People smell deal,
Yeah.
right? You're going to get more people coming through. It is what it is, right? I mean, I used to call it sugar that brings the ants. Somebody said it was that brings the flies, all right? Whatever, however you want to look at it, okay? All right, and if, by the way, some of these foreclosure properties, you walk in, you say, oh, it is bringing the flies, right? Okay, and that's okay. All right, the issue is if you can have a successful regular open house that produces what you need to get eyeball to eyeball with enough people to convert them, then sit in the luxury of air conditioning and cable. I have no problem with that. Go for it, right? But if it's not bringing you the results you need, you might want to consider a bank-owned open house. How do I get those? If you go to, MLS has a special sale provision. REO is one of those choices. You can search all of Tampa Bay. All right. You know what? If there was one like in my neighborhood, I'd do it. Okay. Well, if I could have a trip to Europe every year, I'd love it too, right? Okay, but you say, you know what, again, here's where we lose half the people. Like, oh, I got to drive? Huh. Well, please. All right? Question.
I was told that the broker had an exclusive listing arrangement with this bank-owned one, and she wouldn't let me sit.
Fine.
She doesn't have to.
She doesn't have to.
Fine, move on.
Yeah, all you're asking permission. Exactly.
Next agent, move.
That's it. Yep.
That's
And
that agent.
that's right, and it's true. And you're going to call these people because they're not with your company, and they're like, say, oh no, we don't. We have a company provision that says you can't do it. Okay, great, thanks. Anyway, boom. Next, right? Called Jamie Maloney's already told us, hey, look, have at it. Right?
There's
Now,
plenty of properties.
just because he says have at it doesn't mean you just go sit without permission, because then 8 of you are going to show up at the same one. I was here first. Okay, you got to get permission, all right, from the listing agent, but you just keep trying until you find one that does. All right? Ladies have a harder time with this than men. Men, well, I'm used to rejection. It took me, I proposed to Jeanette 8 times before she said yes, all right? She was like, holy smokes, I kept coming back to the same one, right? Just bam, and bam, and bam. I'm going to wear her down, all right? Okay? You ladies don't get this. Men, we get this all the time. It's like, oh, yeah, I got that, all right? You kidding? Only 3 no's? Pfft, please, all right? That's morning, exactly. Haven't hit lunch yet, all right? But you just keep going until you find one. I've got a email out there that's I think it's on the file portion, or somebody tagged it on the 100K group page, a sample email, tweak it to make it sound like you, hey, that you would send to an REO agent that you don't know, says, hey, looking for a win-win, and maybe there's some things, because they have some things that need to be done. You can make it a win for them as well.
They need their properties checked every so often.
Absolutely, and a lot of them have to send somebody out there to take pictures. Say, hey, well, I'm out here anyway. What if I snapped a few photos? You tell me what you need, right? Left side, right side, back of the home. They picture in the kitchen with the water running. Yeah, exactly. Seriously, they got to have all these things so they prove to their asset manager that they've kept the utilities on and all this kind of stuff. And so, hey, look, if I can save you $10 that you're paying somebody to go out there and do this for you each week, what if I did it? You know what I mean? Hey, can I help you if you can help me, right? Make it a win-win. And then you follow up with a text and a phone call. They're very hard to get a hold of a lot of times. Right? Unless you have a relationship with them, all right? They're busy. They don't like people. Seriously, that's why they exactly.
The bank just hands them deals.
Right. They don't have to be nice.
They don't need you.
Exactly. And they don't have to say yes. All right? And they could use this tagline of, oh, my company has a, or Fannie Mae says no. Well, you know, I've sat a lot of Fannie Mae's, so the answer would be that Fannie Mae agent saying no. Okay, I had agents said, oh, I'm taking it up the chain. I'm going to call the president of Fannie Mae. Well, God bless you. Go for it. Or you could have just called the next agent and found one. All right? You can sit there and fight the, you know, try and fight the system all you want. So the answer is first to get one, right? Okay, and you can do that. All it takes is persistence. All right? If you want to find a bank-owned now, after you find one, what's the right one?
Good corner.
Okay, awesome.
That's open.
Absolutely.
Not a gated.
The one that creates the highest traffic, right? Sometimes that's trial and error. What? Some that back in the day, some that I thought were good traffic, this would be a perfect one. Nobody showed up. Now, I could have, you know what? It can also, there's a lot of variables, right? It's Gasparilla weekend, you know, all these things that come into play. Was it just a bad weekend? Was it, you know, in the middle of a, you know, was everybody preparing for a hurricane? You know, all these kind of things, right? Okay, that may come into play. So you don't always judge the home itself. But after you've sat at it multiple times and you're not getting the kind of traffic you need, move houses, right? And so it just takes, again, do I have the answer? Okay, to our point here is that we don't want to go through 15 turns and 3 roundabouts and 2 gates to get to the open house. Okay, probably not a high traffic generating event. Oh, but it's 6.3 million. Okay, well, good on you. By the way, finding the people that meet number 1 at that place, all right, is not going to happen, right? So that being said, by the way, to that point, are we there to sell the home that we're sitting? No, right? Remember my whole thing? People, why are you sitting out on the porch? Say, go take a whiff. All right, you'll find out. Why are you out here? I know. It's hot out here. It's September and it's still warm. All right? I know it's supposed to be fall soon, all right? But don't break out your Uggs yet, guys, all right? Okay? It's not getting cool here anytime soon, okay? So people, why are you sitting out here? And I'd say, oh, man, that place stinks. I said, yeah, let's go find a house that doesn't stink. I got the MLS. Yes, ma'am.
I can tell you this too. I mean, I went to bank-owned properties.
Yep.
You know, for investment.
Yeah.
And I tell you, all the ones that I visited.
Yeah.
That had an open house.
Yep.
And the listing agent was sitting in there. You can tell she didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, she was like, "Oh, you want this? Well, I tell you what, you gotta pay what the bank is saying. Otherwise, you don't even have a chance." And I'm like, "Hello, at least let me walk through the property."
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I mean,
It's so true. And if they are sitting, it's because they're being made to, right? Because they've got to prove to their asset manager that they're happy. By the way, take a picture of you in front of the open house. Hey, look, this is going to help your asset manager. Time, date, stamp. You know, at least I'm taking that off your plate because they would rather be not meeting people, sitting in the bar watching their favorite college football team. All right, than having to do this. Yes, ma'am.
I'm getting a listing in Largo,
Mm-hmm.
and on that street there is a bank-owned property, and I can't understand why it basically hasn't sold
Yeah.
there. So just to call the agent and ask him if I could do an open house
Yeah.
here,
Let's go.
then
Yeah.
And then you can use your property.
Yeah, and sell your property from the traffic that's generated by foreclosure.
Oh, you don't like this?
Do a mega open house, block open house.
Yeah, right. Or hey, if yours is vacant, have them both open. Say, hey, come on down or whatever. I don't know what your situation is, but why?
Yeah, because I'm
Yeah.
we're listing it now that I'm here with your
Yeah.
company, and, there, because I was trying to think about it, have an open house at the same time with both of them.
Awesome. Great idea. They can compare. Here's a before and after, whatever you want to call it, right? Okay. You know.
They have an open house Sunday I went to,
Yeah.
and, comparatively to my house, this is like a whole, trashy house.
Right. So I'm saying it's a before and after, right? Here's, hey, you want to pay X amount of dollars? You want to pay a little more and get this? Yeah. Exactly.
Perfect though.
Why not? Yes. Back here, we had a question, comment.
Oh, I was just gonna say do the coinciding open.
Yeah, that's perfect. You know, again, we start to get outside get outside the 9 dots and start to think about, okay, how can we do this? What are ways that we can, again, get face-to-face with as many people as possible, right? That's my whole goal. So,
Do we have to have a realtor set at the open house? What's the rules with that then?
yeah, well, a licensed assistant can sit in open house, but all they can do is hand out a sheet, an informational sheet, and can absolutely answer 0 questions.
Unlicensed.
Okay? Great. I'm sorry, unlicensed person, right? If they're not licensed, they can only hand out the information and say, well, if you have any questions, talk to her.
Okay. So I
Okay.
could have a-
Yeah. Someone sit there and just hand out stuff. But if, hey, what do you think about the market? Well, my professional opinion, all right? Which, by the way, their professional opinion might be better than the licensed person's professional opinion anyway, but that's okay, all right? But they can't give a professional opinion because they're not a licensed professional.
Right, but I can have grandma sitting there and.
Sure.
have this-
Exactly.
Sign in, please.
Exactly. Exactly, okay? Now, again, here's the thing. This leads us to our, generate traffic, right? Let me tell you this. All the generated traffic in the world means nothing if you don't sell a home. Okay? You are fooling. This is where the great disconnect comes, right? Agents, I'm doing my job. I'm trusting the process. I get it. But part of the process is to convert them. Well, how do I do that? Practice, practice. And that's the nice thing about a bank foreclosure is that you're going to get 36 practices in one day. Your other open houses, you can be 36 practices in 36 open houses, right? So you never get any momentum. Trust me, I was terrible the first 3 people that walked through, but the good news is I had 5 within the first 10 minutes. So 4 and 5 were better, right? Because I was getting pretty good. Here's the other thing. Having a list of people that have signed in, okay, mail that to me, all right, and I'll send it back to you with $3.50, and that'll get you a cup of coffee at Starbucks. It means nothing. Your list of people, all right, means, oh, but I'm going to follow up with note cards. What the ever? Okay? I'm just telling you, you guys are lying to yourself. You know what it meant to me? I knew that when Jay walked in the door, I had 38 seconds for him to say, hey, you know what? This is my dude. Seriously. And listen to me, I asked for the business while I was in front of them right now.
So you're going to tell us about this 38 seconds.
Yeah, basically it's this. Hey, what's your first name?
Dodie.
Hey, Dodie, thanks for popping in. Hey, are you in the market? What's going on? Are you just looking for yourself, looking for a family member, or are you just kind of like...
I'm just looking.
Okay, when you say looking, what does that mean? Or do you have a place right now? Do you own another home? Are you looking for investment property? What does that mean?
Investment property.
Are you? Okay, well, great. You know, I'm an expert at working with investors. You know how many investors? I understand cap rates like the back of my hand. I can sit there and take a look and analyze any property for you. This one, quite honestly, may or may not work for you, but if not, I can certainly introduce you to other things. Let me ask you this. Have you already talked to somebody about financing these investment properties?
I'm all cash.
You are beautiful. All right, do you have proof of that?
Oh, certainly.
Okay, very good. All right, and just so you know, it's funny, I love to do this because a lot of people, when they have proof of cash and they want to, I go to make an offer that people ask me for proof of funds, and I say, hey, you know what? The reality is they should be asking for a higher down payment or escrow amount because quite frankly, even though you have the cash today, doesn't mean you didn't let it ride on black 23, all right? And now it's all gone. So with that, just bear that in mind when we get to that point and start doing it. So let me ask you this. I work with so many investors and I've done a really good job of helping them analyze their cap rate and their return on investment and so on and so forth. Let me ask you this. Are you truly looking to buy property like within the next month?
If the price is right.
Okay, you know what? That's perfect. I get it, all right, and it's very caveated. Are you working with anybody else currently that's going to be able to talk to you like I am right now?
No.
Okay, great. I didn't think so because you know what? Quite frankly, I'm so good at working with people like yourselves, like your investors, that once I get a chance to talk to you, all right, and show you what I can do, and I just give me a couple. Matter of fact, I think we should go take a look at I got some properties in mind. So this afternoon, after my open house closes up, we should probably meet and go take a look at these because these good investment properties never stay on the market long. But once I do that, here's what I found is that once I tell people and we get a chance to have this dialogue for even this little short time, that if people choose, they're truly an investor who really wants a good cap rate and wants a good return on investment, if they choose to use somebody else, all right, I'm like literally shocked.
Really?
Yeah, and that was my line. Right? So with that in mind, do you have time this afternoon or you know what, I'm setting another open house tomorrow, but I could do it either before or after my open house tomorrow. Which looks better for you?
Tomorrow morning.
Let's go for it. All right, I have church until 10:30. Can we do it around 11:15? Is that good for you?
Perfect.
All right, good. Boom. I'm not I have 36 of these conversations. I fail 35 times. All right? I need one. One that fits all criteria. I ask for the business there. Here's a mistake most of you are making, and correct me if I'm wrong. I got her to give me her name and phone number. Right? And then beep, beep, right? When I call them back. Or Crickets on the other line. How many times can I get their voicemail? I'm going to show them how persistent I am. No, you're going to show them how desperate you are. Right? I'm going to show them that, hey, look, you'd be a fool not to use me. It's a lot of money. You're ready to invest a lot of cash into this. By the way, after Dodie and I are at the first house, I'm like, are you truly an investor? Because let me ask you this. Have we talked about the power of leverage before? Right? So, I mean, right now, 25% down with investment properties. Okay, why? Let's buy 4. Right, with your 100%, let's buy 4. If I could show you the cash flow numbers and actually, because I attended my brokers, all right, speak the language of an investor class, so I understand how to talk cap rate and ROI and all this stuff with an investor that's going to walk in. Now by the way, until you can get talk about cubbies, until you can look yourself in the eye and you are where you are, okay, until you can get to the point where you can look people in the eye and say, hey, you know what? You'd be an idiot not to use me as your agent.
That's good.
Okay? It's hard. All right? It is hard.
Better
all right?
believe it, though. Better
Okay?
believe it.
Yeah, but you bet, and you know what? And I still say that, I haven't sold a home in probably 8 years other than stuff I bought and sold for myself, all right? But I'm telling you, if I wanted something under contract, I would have something under contract this weekend if I wanted to. I'm just telling you. I go, you know what, and what would you do, Bob? I go sit a bank-owned open house, and I'd have that dialogue with whoever walked in the door, all right?
6 times.
Okay, what's that? 36 times, right?
36
Because
buyers.
that's right, exactly. Here and then here.
Do you read people's personality?
Yeah, absolutely. If she was like, or because we're going to do a lot of role playing, right? In the upcoming sessions, we're going to get together. We're going to role play. Because why not have that dialogue and let's fumble? Because you know what? The first 7 times I did that, I'm like, you'd be an idiot to use me. That didn't come out right? Okay, right? I screwed up. And that potentially maybe cost me $4,000 in commission or $8,000 in commission because that screw up. Why not have that screw up when you and I are just kind of in a safe environment, having this role play time, right? And by the way, every time you role play, I get it. The natural tendency, everybody wants to be the ball buster on the other side. I'm not using you. Okay, trust me, somebody comes in and says, I'm not using you. I said, great, have a nice day. Somebody else is coming in the door, all right? Please don't cancer them. Have a nice day, right? Okay? Shoo, 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 all right? You can't shoo. I said, I can certainly shoo you out. Get out, all right? Seriously, I don't have time for you to be around. You might be skewing my next person. Seriously, get out the door, right? Because there are people that are going to be cancerous, and let them be, all right? Life's too short to even contemplate their existence, right? I'm just looking for one. Because if I sat, here's what I did, I'm telling you, high school math teacher found these bank foreclosure open houses, and soon thereafter said, I'm going to sit one every Saturday and Sunday, Thursday afternoons if I need to, because I had goals. I was doing my Sunday night ritual, even though the book hadn't been written yet, all right? And I didn't call it that. I called it, hey, look, I got to plan my week and check how my last week went. That's what a Sunday night ritual is, by the way, okay? I'm going to, check and see where, I'm supposed to be working with 8 buyers right now. I only got 4. So how about if I do a Wednesday afternoon drive time open house? Got this house right off of Belcher that tends to have a lot of traffic. Why not? People are on Belcher a lot. Coming home back and from work, working at whatever that lens place is down there in Bardmore area. What's that where they make transition lenses, right? Okay. A lot of people work there. Zoom, 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 zoom. The people are driving out of there all the time. Why not? Compared to what? People ask me all the time, Bob, should I have an open? Yes. Yeah, but yes. It's yes compared to what? Okay. Compared to
Law and order.
okay, law and order? No. Okay, yeah, have an open house, right? Compared to going to a closing, go to the closing. All right, okay? But other than that, all right, just go be open for business, right? How many pastries does the bakery sell when they never open their door?
0.
Right? I guess they could have an online presence, all right? The online bakery, all right? But the chances are very slim and none, all right? So you've got to be open for business. Now, once you're open for business, now, how do I teach that confidence? Boy, that's just going to be you know what? Because here's the thing. You know more than them, okay? And if you don't, go learn so you know more than them. You know more than them walking in the door. They need you more than you need them. That is the attitude you must have up here, right? Pretty soon. It took like literally halfway through my first day of sitting these that I started. I mean, this is 1994. Remember the whole thing? I was doing HUD foreclosure open houses, and I got the manual yesterday, right? And people are like, how do these work? And I'm like flipping through the manual because there was no PDF, because there was no Adobe, by the way, in 1994. Okay, so it's hard to have a PDF when Adobe didn't exist. Okay, I am old, I'm telling you. All right, okay? I know. How does a guy with the body of a 26-year-old, all right? I'm so glad Jeanette has no idea where to find these videos, all right? Okay? I'd be in such trouble, all right, if she ever found them, all right? So, but the reality is, okay, I didn't have, all the time. Oh, here we got into this discussion, too. I'll get to there in a minute. Okay, am I helping at all? Okay, because you're probably not asking for the business, right? Confidence and ask for the business, because the chances of you getting them to return a follow-up email, call, or note is slim and none.
Just curious, like, how many times you try to close them there on site, and if you don't close them on site, you just let them.
Back in the day, I kind of just let them go, because now that we didn't have CRMs and all this kind of stuff, right? And so I would say if they had my number, hey, if things ever change, call me, right? But I would probably put them in a drip campaign now. It's not going to hurt, all right, to put them into something. By the way, I would have 2 campaigns, right? You've got people that are true. Remember, we're looking for 150, right? Because 150 equals 22,500, all right? These people you meet in an open house are not part of your 150. They're in this other 15,000 drip campaign, all right? That just gets thrown in there, thrown in there, thrown in there. And if, something happens to fall out, it's like, hey, coal became a diamond somehow.
They say that the fortune is in the follow-up. How do you feel about that?
I don't agree. Because...
it takes 8 times.
Yeah, right. I get it, all right? If I don't have time for that. I don't have time to follow up with you 8 times. Either we're in or out. You want to buy? You said you're an investor and you have cash. Is that true? Right? If that's true, then I'm your guy. All right? I guarantee that. That I know.
Be there tomorrow morning.
I will be there tomorrow morning. You kidding? You better be there tomorrow morning. All right? That's my answer, is that, hey, look, I will be there. This is what I do for a living, all right? So I will be there tomorrow morning. So we're going to make this happen, all right? But the whole idea, the reality is this. I booked an appointment there.
Yeah.
Anybody, let's date ourselves a little bit. Tupperware, what's the other one? Avon, Mary Kay. Help me out. What's the other, the one where, what's that?
Charlie's Chips, remember that?
Charlie's Chips. I never heard that. Okay, very nice. All right. Okay, you're old. What's the one? I love their ice cream scoop. They have the best ice cream. Pampered Chef. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. Okay. Those. All right. Anybody ever done those?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. What your goal? What do they teach? Book a meeting from a meeting. Right. Because I'm here and you bring in all your friends, and here we go, and and you're going to be able, if we sell enough here, then Kristen sponsored the party, so now she gets a free, microwavable bowl, all right? Or okay, that's awesome, right? So she gets that. But while I'm there with 8 of Kristen's friends, hey, who else wants a free microwavable bowl? Let's host a party at your house, right? But guess what? I could have the list of Kristen's 8 friends, me following up later to try and get them to host a Pampered Chef party. No, you got to do it then. You got to book a meeting from a meeting, right? I'm eyeball to eyeball with you. I know eyeball to eyeball is going to be my text and how fluent and how flowing my email might be, all right? Or how great my website might be, because I've paid a lot of money to have my jacket thrown over my shoulder like that, and that picture showing up on my, you know what I mean? And that's, I got to do business with that guy, right? Okay? Yeah, exactly. And I do that, they put that little ding off my tooth. Ding, whatever that is, okay? None of that matters, okay? It's so true, okay? We get caught up in the hype of all that. Don't get me wrong, because you have a website, yeah, it's like a calling card nowadays. You need to have one, all right? But whether it's your left side or your right side, all right, that you take your headshot with or whatever, it has nothing to do. Because when they get in front of me, I'm going to tell them they're an idiot to use anybody but me. And you're like, but I paid all that money for my website. He's like, I don't care about your website. This dude spoke with confidence. Like, hell, you're right. If I'm ready to buy. And if people aren't, hey, look, I get it. You're not ready to buy. That's cool, right? hey, yeah, send me a list. I've got eight other lists coming in. Well, that doesn't meet number 4, right? 4 means loyal to me, all right? And if you got 8 other lists coming in, you just keep up with those 8. All right, hope it works out for you. Good on you. Because by the way, did I know her before she walked in the door? What have I lost?
Nothing.
Nothing, right? But if I ask for the business and I get it, what have I gained? A lot, right? Yes, ma'am.
When I come across in the open houses there, one of the things I ask is, are you working with a realtor?
Yep. You know what their answer is 100% of the time?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Just shut
and
you down.
sometimes I get into conversation and they're dissatisfied.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, a lot of times, by the way, hey, they're not working with anybody. They know a realtor is all they're saying.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you say when you're trying to look for a nice blouse and the thing, and the salesperson comes up and say, hey, can I help you? Just looking, just browsing, just that's their just browsing. Okay?
no, I've got it where they've been dissatisfied.
I understand.
You know, comments too.
Well, where are you? Have you signed anything with these people? I get it, all right? But trust me, I'm not going to get in a pissing match about other realtors. And I tell people that too, all right? Hey, look, you might be dissatisfied. I understand. There's a lot of... Hey, I get it. Trust me. I deal with realtors all day long. I understand your dissatisfaction with realtors, right? I would tell that to the client. There are a lot of bad realtors out there, a lot of bad whatever. I said, if you've signed something, if you're not satisfied with them, if you sign something, you need to probably look into how you get out of that. I can't help you there because there's an ethics violation that could be in play here. But if you haven't signed anything with them and there's no obligation, lacking me showing you a property that they've already shown you, then we might have a procuring cause. That has nothing to do with you, but more between me and them. But you need to let me know when we start looking at property, all right, that if you run across a home and then you're saying, hey, look, I saw this one before, or this other agent, then I need to know that on the front side, so at least I have a dialogue with them. Maybe I'll pay them a referral fee, something, just so that we keep everything out of, clean. All right? But you're going to get that a lot. You know what I mean? Are you working with a realtor? I'll be honest with you. I know you're taught to say that. I never said it.
Oh, okay.
Well, you walk into my open house, all right, and that person's not toting you in, right? You don't have a realtor as far as I'm concerned.
You just asked me though.
Huh?
When we were having our conversation, you said, are you working?
Oh, did I? Okay, yeah, maybe I did. All right, perfect. All right, and if I did, that's fine. I guess once I got a little deeper, maybe I would. I don't know, but I wouldn't be that concerned. Well, first of all, I was looking for loyalty. All right, later on when you said, hey, look, yeah, I was looking for that loyalty one. I will maybe ask at the end, okay, if you pass 3. All right, and I'm looking for that loyalty one. I'll make sure that, hey, look, are you going to be? Oh no, I'm seeing property tomorrow with 4 other realtors. It's like whatever. Okay, whatever. Okay, I only date one at a time. All right, it's kind of my whole idea. So again, I get it, but a lot of times you guys cut that off from the very beginning, and you don't get a chance to give your spiel and show them how valuable you are. I gave value first, then asked, hey, look, are you going to be loyal? And I didn't say that, but that's what I was saying, right? Value first. Yeah, if you can do all that, I'm loyal to you, right? I have been looking with other people. Well, have you signed anything? That one I would find that out. Well, I've been out with a few other people. Well, when what does that mean? Okay, and I would dig a little deeper. But the key I want to get across to you is that your success rate on conversion is 100% right here. All right, and again, well, Bob, that doesn't seem, you told me I've got to be a consultant, but then now you're sounding like a car salesman, right? Because car salesmen say, hey, if they leave the lot, they're gone, right? Right, and so that sounds kind of car salesy, right? When I sit there and say you'd be an idiot, no, it's confidence in my ability, and what am I trying to do? Save them from the bad realtors, right? I'm here to rescue you. Seriously. That's the attitude. Trust me, my second half of the day when I sat those first open houses, they'd walk up the door, they'd get out of their car, I'd say, hey, you know what, help me to be a blessing to these people today, and they have no idea how lucky they are to get a chance to meet me. They've got, in the next 5 seconds, their life's about to change. With that attitude, you are going to win. Because I guarantee, I look at by the way, less than 25% of the people even related to me. The disc profile would tell us that. Right? That there's that right there. By the way, am I that in your face with a first-time home buyer? No, investor that's got cash. All right, got a different conversation, man. ROI cap rate. Let's go. All right? Most investors, by the way, they find a realtor that even knows what cap rate means. They're like, oh my God, and they'll fall in love with you, okay? But that being said, first-time home buyer, what's your situation? You ready for this? You want a script? Right, write this down. You ready? Here's your answer. Fantastic.
What was the
Good?
question?
Doesn't matter. Okay? That's right. Hey, what's your situation? Are you a first-time home buyer? Yes, I am. Fantastic. Are you an investor? Yes, I am. Fantastic. I've never bought a home. I bought 52 homes, and I'm looking to buy a 53rd. Fantastic. I have shoddy credit, and I couldn't get a library card yesterday, much less a mortgage. Fantastic. I'm going to put you over here in this crock pot. All right? Okay? All right? I've got a program for that if you want to work, right? But the answer is fantastic, right? What's your situation? Fantastic. Okay? What's your answer? Fantastic. I love working with that. I'm really good at working with whatever their answer was. Okay? By the way, I always schedule these open houses specifically so that I have time afterward. If you're truly saying what you're telling me, let's go look at some stuff right now. I've got the MLS right here on my phone. Let's go bang out a few right now. Let's go find a few. Here's my goal. Book a meeting from a meeting. Right? Oh, I can't do it this afternoon. Great. Tuesday afternoon, Thursday morning, what works? Because what happens if they leave and they're gone? They are not returning your call. Now again, can they no-show you on Tuesday morning or whatever? Yeah. All right? But you don't always get a chance to be no-showed because you never get to book an appointment. I was saying, hey, look, if you're legitimately in the market, hey, I'm just browsing. Define browsing. You got nothing else to do on a Sunday afternoon? Seriously, did you know the Bucks game's on? Okay, there's nothing else you'd rather be doing. You're telling me. Are you honest? Are you really browsing? Seriously, I would have these conversations. I mean, that's kind of gutsy, right? What have you got to lose? You are never going to see these people again. Can I say that over and over again? You are never going to see them. Well, you've been lying to yourselves that if they sign in, you're going to see them again. It ain't going to happen. All right?
So when so you've got an open house, you've got an REO realtor that says you can do an open house here. Do you advertise that? Or
Back in the day, I can tell you what I did. I never did, but if I were going to do it now, I'd put it on Facebook. I'd say, hey, look, can you put it?
Get brokers?
Yeah.
Or agents, other agents?
Yeah.
Clients?
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, why not?
Instagram, Facebook.
Good relationships can be established, everything else. So why not? I would say, yeah, go for it.
Get one of your vendors to maybe...
I would rely, your best source is going to be, let me tell you, okay, so anybody up here live in the Newport Richey area? And this is a long way to go. Okay, Newport Richey, okay? You guys know Veterans Village? Okay, Rowan Road, going up, East Lake Boulevard becomes, 77. You curve off to the left, you go stay right, it goes Little Road, stay on 77. That first little complex you go through is called Rowan Road, right? That's Veterans Village. It's just these little tiny houses, right? So Fannie Mae foreclosures, probably 1997, 1998, okay? Fannie Mae foreclosure, 2 streets in off of Rowan. Rowan is it's not US 19 where people are going so fast they don't have time to stop, right? It's probably 35 through there, but a lot of traffic flows through there, right? Carmel and this other street, I can't remember what it was. Bam, bam. All right, Mitchell Ranch to Carmel, I think it was. Boom, boom. All right, 2 turns, only 3 houses in on Carmel. All right, Fannie Mae foreclosure, they were asking $97,000 when the market said $67,000. All right, $97,000 when this market was saying $67,000 fixed up. And this place was I wanted to have a rider that said POS. All right, okay, out there. Wasn't my sign because I wasn't my foreclosure. But this dude, Aubrey Gates, no problem. Said open houses all you want, Bob. Okay, said open house. Okay, overpriced. The beauty of when I don't represent, when I'm not with the listing company, right? Well, I am. I'm a single agent, right? Because we don't have a transaction brokerage relationship. We don't mandate that here at Future Home. You can be a single agent. So that guy works for RE/MAX. I work for Future Home Realty or whatever I was at the time. Future Home Realty didn't exist in 1997. So whoever I was at the time, right? And people would come in and say, $97,000 for this? I said, yeah, what are they, smoking crack? Like, jeez. I don't know who in Texas that makes the decisions on this pricing, but they were not thinking. All right? Let's go find you something. All right? But because of that overpriced, it sat on the market for 8 months. Right? I sat those 7 months and 3 weeks. Okay? I did. And guess what? I tracked it. 7 months to 3 weeks, I sat it religiously. I knew the neighbors, hey, you know what I mean? We were old buddies and everything else, right? And when are you going to sell this thing? I don't know. As soon as the bank gets realistic at that, you can boom, 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 boom. Right? Count them. Ready? 67
Deals?
transactions from the people I met at that open house in 7.5 months. It was, when they started to lower the price, it finally went to contract, I cried. All right? I almost quit the business. What am I going to do now? All right? Where's my next goose? The golden eggs are no, we're going to be, someone killed the goose. Right? But that was a good one. Okay?
So you don't feel like time on the market makes it stale or anything like that?
They don't care. These people driving by didn't know time on the market. It made it stale. I was like, hey, this house has been on the market forever, which means
It's easier for you to do
it is. Yeah.
If it's one day, everybody wants to do an open
Right.
about it.
Exactly.
And then it goes within a week.
Well, and the other thing was I wasn't there to sell that house. Right? I was there to meet people. I was there to generate traffic. If I could have done it, sign spinning wasn't available at the time, but if I was a sign spinner would have worked and generate more traffic, I'd bring them in. All right? $8 an hour, whatever you pay for, they got it.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay?
That's
All
a
right?
good idea.
Good, why not? Exactly, see? Yeah.
We've talked about open houses where maybe you don't have traffic. What
Yeah.
happens when you're there
Yep.
and you're blessed with like 15 people
Yeah,
coming through
exactly.
at one time? You can't get that 38 seconds
Yeah, right.
for each one of them. So any techniques or
Yep.
thoughts on that?
Love it. Okay, so when I set the government resale open houses in particular, and even I would say if it's a bank foreclosure, that's generally where you're going to generate the highest amount of volume. All right, is I'd say, hey, look, with people walking in, I'm slammed. Now HUD foreclosures back in the day, they're still similar, but it wasn't online. Okay, you had to actually do a sealed bid, you had to sign all this stuff and submit these things, and so it was a kind of a lengthy process, and it was not easy. It wasn't your typical real estate transaction. A foreclosure is not a typical real estate transaction because we're not going to have a seller's disclosure. I'm just going to tell you there's going to be a special warranty deed as opposed to a general warranty deed. All these things you need to know, right? So all this different type of stuff. So when people are coming in, I'd say, hey, look, this is a bank foreclosure. Take a look around. Obviously, you can see there's a lot of traffic here. I said, you know what? Take a look around. I give a little kind of talk every 15 minutes. All right? So if you can hang till 10:15, all right, we'll go through this, and I'll gather everybody up, and we'll have a discussion. Right? And I would do this. Here's the way these foreclosures work. And more people come in. Hey, we're in the middle of this one. Go ahead and wander around. I'll be doing another one of these sessions in 15 minutes. Right? So go ahead and wander around. So I would just tell them, and I would get my chance to do my 38 seconds in front of 12 of them. Boom, 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 boom. And I was looking for one. Who's my one? Whose eyes are lighting up? Who's my one? Who's connecting with me? Who's with me? Everybody else is like, oh, no, this dude, they're covering their wallet. This dude, I don't like the way this guy talks, right? Okay, probably not a good relationship being built there, whatever it is, right? And I would gather them and say, hey, look, a special situation on these. Not your typical real estate transaction. So because of that, you can leave if you want to, but before you leave, hang tight. And it only takes me 5 minutes to give one of these presentations, but I want to do it where everybody can hear. Fair enough? And it worked for me. All right? Okay.
A little frenzy, like a little.
Yeah, right. It's that buying frenzy kind of concept.
Yeah, like a little competition.
Right. Oh, I got to buy this one. Right, exactly. I want to work with this
There was
dude.
like a group.
All right? And I can only work with so many of you. I can only work with so many people at a time. So whoever's ready to work with me, all right, make sure I have, you call me. It'd be even better. Or better yet, let's make sure we set an appointment to go look at some houses either today, later today, tomorrow, or the next coming week. All right? Yes, ma'am.
So what do you tell them about the bank-owned?
Special situation, right? A little bit unique. I said, here's the beauty as a buyer of a bank-owned property is that you're dealing with a very unemotional buyer or seller. Right? That's the beauty of these foreclosures. Right? If you're looking to buy this, you're looking for a deal. Yeah, the bad news is that you're trying to as is, where is, that kind of thing. There's probably some flaws. You're not going to get every little paint chip, repaired before closing, all that kind of stuff. But because of that, you should get some value, right? There's the potential of that. Now, if you're not in that situation where you can afford to come out of pocket for down payment and then money to fix up, then a foreclosure is probably not for you. But that's okay because I've become an expert, all right, at helping people buy what we would call traditional real estate, even help them structure deals in such a way to help them get in for the least amount of money down payment possible and get them in. If that sounds interesting to you, I'd love to work with you on that. And quite frankly, I've helped so many people. I'm so good at that. When I tell people and they understand really what I can do, if they choose to use somebody else to help them buy their home, I'm shocked. Okay?
You're not changing your dialogue with her.
No, exactly. Fantastic, blah, 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 blah. You'd be an idiot not to use me.
Same dialogue with slight modifications every time, and you don't care about the people covering their wallet.
Yeah, exactly. Let them.
Because you're looking for the one who's listening.
I sat 100 open houses a year.
Same.
You should.
I just deliver until someone picks it up.
Yeah, that's it. I'm just telling you. I mean, I tweak it based upon their, again, I tweak it some, but it starts with fantastic. What's your situation? Blah, 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 blah. Fantastic. All right. I'm really good at working with people that blah, 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 blah. Right? And then let me tell you what I do. I've been doing this for a while, yada, yada, yada. I'm just really good at financing. I help people navigate the whole process through the minefield of what we call a real estate transaction. And I'm really good at that. Sometimes I actually stepped in the wrong place. That's why I have half an arm sometimes, and we joke, right? And then at the end of the day, but I've gotten so good at this, who better to fall through a minefield than somebody's been through the minefield? Right? That I'm so good at this, and I've got such great reviews on my website, which I didn't have at the time, all right, for all the people that are satisfied, that when people choose to use somebody else, all right, lacking it being their mother, right? And by the way, I've even had people who had their mother's a realtor and they've used me instead, right? Because of that, I'm actually shocked if they choose not to use me. Here's a great line. You ready for this one? This is a little longer than fantastic, but here's a great line. As a buyer, you get the best deal in the world. The seller pays me to work for you.
Yeah, I have used that one.
That's a great one, isn't it? The seller pays me to work for you. Where else are you going to? That's like the plaintiff paying for you as paying for the defendant's attorney. Ain't going to happen, right? This is the only place I know where the other side has to pay for the side to represent the other side. Okay? That's a pretty good gig as a buyer. Don't you want a piece of that? Well, I've heard that everybody's a and again, I would go watch our class on single agency versus transaction brokerage and use that as leverage.
Yeah.
You want to compare agent A to agent B? Agent B says, well, we're in an office where we mandate transaction brokerage. Well, guess what? We're in an office that we highly encourage single agency, right? Because if I represent a buyer, I want to seek my return and represent my buyer. If I'm a transaction broker, I got a fiduciary with the seller. I don't like that. I want to dig everything. I want to gather every piece of information. I want to go through as I'm showing the house and I see that the husband's side of the closet is empty. There's some divorcing going on around here. All right, that's motivation in my eyes. There's something happening here. Things aren't right in Happy Town, right? And there's some. You know what? Am I going to use that when I'm negotiating for my buyer? Abso-frickin-lutely. All right. Yes, ma'am.
But wouldn't you say that you will look at all of the little pieces of things that you can negotiate for them, but after they are under contract?
Yep.
Because I find sometimes that maybe if I say too much, I might be swayed from making an offer or choosing one.
Yeah. Well, again, this comes from selling 100 homes a year. Right? That you just get really good at learning this, whatever the situation is. So you're saying, my job is to help my buyer, if that's who I'm representing, get the best deal possible. Right? Now that could be full price because we got in competition with 8 other people and whatever that might be. It might be, it's because they're ultimately the one buying, not me. Right? Hey, what does a good deal mean to you and what does it mean to me? Absolutely. Good deal to me means I get in this school district even if I'm overpaying by 15 grand. All right? That's the buyer. I wouldn't do it, but the buyer would. All right? My job is to represent their interests, not my interests, their interests. Now, I can help guide them. Hey, if they say, what do you think? And I can show you the numbers, but ultimately the decision's yours. All right? End of the day, we're going to make an offer, and that offer is going to have your signature on it, not mine. So you got to be comfortable with what we're doing here. I can educate you on how we're going about this, but I'm not going to force you to do anything, and B, you're the one that ultimately is making the decision. Fair enough? Is this helping a little bit? Okay? Because I'm just telling you, and it's funny because probably over the last 2 or 3 years as I've been teaching this, I didn't know I had to teach this because it just became inherent to me that, hey, if I wasn't getting results, if people weren't calling me back, then I'd stop relying on that and I'd make a tweak, right? I've got to, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not poo-pooing anything. You've done it. Congratulations. And by the way, you're 4, 5, 6 months worth of bank foreclosure sitting open houses ahead of everybody else because you've learned some tweaks even along the way, right? What works, what doesn't. Again, what's the best open house? The one that generates the most traffic, okay? Most chances I get, my probability statistics class tells me more chances I have, the better. All right, if I got 3 people through or 36 people through, I got a better chance with 36.
Just curious. I mean, it sounds like you rely on the majority of the traffic coming from signs.
I did.
Do you do the 5 signs or like the 30 signs? Like,
I do as many as possible to get people in. All right. Again, more is better. Sometimes more people are like, I don't know, that sounds too desperate. I don't know. I mean, tweak it. Again, that's one of the variables you'd have to play with a little bit. I never had 30 signs. I usually did like 10 at the most, right? And ideally, you don't want too many because, again, if I have too many, that means I got too many turns to get to us. One blows over, I'm done. I go, why is this nobody's showing up? And I go driving out, and they go, 2 of my signs are gone. They couldn't find it.
But I've had actually people come in and say, I stopped in because I saw your sign.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw your sign.
Yeah.
You don't know if that's a great buyer or it's nothing.
Right. You never know. Exactly. But I relied on signs back in the day because I couldn't go Facebook Live, all right, in 1994. Okay? So Mark Zuckerberg was in the crib probably still in 1994.
I remember your
Okay?
story about you putting out signs and going to your next and people are following you.
Yep. First bank foreclosure open house I ever did. Okay? It's my second weekend of the business. I discovered HUD foreclosure open houses, reserved one, started putting out my signs, and people followed me in. I was at 8:30 in the morning, right off of Belcher. I can remember I put my 2 signs on Belcher, drove up to the next 3 streets down, pulled over. When I pulled over, somebody pulled behind me. So I kind of eyeballed them, right? Put that sign out, bam. Pulled up to the next corner, 2 streets down, next corner, pulled over, 2 people pulled behind me. 8:30 in the morning on a Saturday, followed me in. I said, this is better than the last one. Because the first weekend, I set the one listing we had in our brokerage office, which was me and my broker, all right? It was his aunt's house, overpriced, and nobody came. Well, 3 people came all weekend, neighbor, some dude on a 10-speed. All right, okay? All right? So, it is what it is, right? So I said, hey, look, and that day I met 36 people. That's why I use 36 all the time, because I count on 36 people rolled through.
and another question on signs. I was following the conversation on the Facebook page.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, elaborate. Here's the thing. People put out there, and there's a thing about whether or not somebody went to an ethics class and said, here's what I've been told by the head of the Florida legal hotline. Yeah, and actually she runs it. She's the head legal counsel for Florida Realtors. Okay, Margie Grant, right, exactly. Who's now the CEO, I hear. Yeah, that's congratulations on that. That's a big news. But directional signs, according to her, and I can clarify this, I'll reach out to her. She's probably pretty busy right now transitioning, but I'll reach out. Directional signs, open house arrow, all right, do not require name, phone number, brokerage. Okay? Jim?
Well, yeah, and I totally agree too, because it's part of the whole ad.
Yeah, right.
The ad that, as long as you have it at the end.
Right. At the end, when you get in there, even if it's not your listing, there's a sign in the yard. They know they're dealing with a real estate company, and then you walk in, first saying, hey, by the way, all right, Remax on the sign, I'm Florida Executive. All right?
Can you
Boom.
have Florida Executive on your directional signs?
You can.
You have 2 separate.
Okay, but the minute you put a phone number or a name, then you have to put the brokerage. Okay, but if you just straight open house sign, you're good.
Oh, okay.
Okay, nothing else needed. All right, and quite frankly, did you hear what people were doing anyway? And they were saying that they stapled their card at the very bottom left-hand corner. Like no one's gonna be able to read that, but I've complied. Whatever. Okay, do that if you're concerned, right? Okay. I don't think. I mean, trust me. If they start coming after it, say, hey, then I'll get Margie involved. But I would say now the minute you put, I want my phone number on there, then you have to put the name of your brokerage. Okay, because you have to know that you're a licensed realtor.
And just as a further note, I work in a lot of deed restricted areas.
Yeah.
And you have to be careful about signage because they don't care if the cheap little white ones or if they're expensive $30.
Exactly.
They will rip them up and you
Yeah.
lose your money.
Exactly. Check out rules, all right? Try and investigate that on the front side, right? Again, if I'm doing a little bit of research, I'm thinking about where I was going to have my open house. Again, sometimes it's a guessing game, right? Hey, this looks good, but for some reason it wasn't good. What happened? By the way, I told you I averaged one person who met the 4 criteria every time I sat in an open house. The key word is I averaged, right? There were 3 in a row that I got shut out. None. Really? As good as you were? Right? Really? Okay? Okay, and humble. That's right, exactly. As good and humble as you are, okay? Modesty. All right. I got shut out, but guess what I did for number 4? Showed up, and I met 4. All right? I averaged 1 a time. Not that I got 1 every time, but I averaged. Sometimes I get none. You know what I mean? I just kept going. I kept showing up. It's the old, hey, when do you stop picking for the gold vein? Right?
The law of averages works the same as the law of the harvest.
That's right. It is. It is. And did you hear what she said? Law of averages is like the law of the harvest. It's a law, right? That if you go out there and you do it, and then when do you stop, all right, and someone else comes and does the same open house the next day and gets 4 and says, that's easy. Jeez, right? It could have been your 4 if you had just shown up, right? But you've got to show up and be good at converting. Fair enough? Now, I know we spent a lot of time on this, but I wanted to make sure because this is critical, all right? You're going to start seeing some threads in the 100K group page. We're going to start some dialogues about how this works. Hey, who knows? Hey, Ashland's going to put out there, Jamie Maloney's allowing us to sit open houses. Here's his, look up Jamie Maloney's listings on the MLS, all right? By the way, hey, Jamie, can I sit in an open house at 123 Main Street? Answer, yes. Boom. There's your permission. Don't look for a, hey, Jamie, let's catch up. What's going on? He's busy, right? Respect that. Just get a yes, right? I'm out, okay? Okay, what's that?
I bet Christina would like it too.
Yeah, all right, and Christina probably would. Christina Griffin as well. She's with Keller Williams up in New Tampa, I think. But just, research them. And again, what is the ideal one? The one that generates the traffic, all right? Because the more traffic, the better, more practice. The more practice, the better you are, all right? And more confident you become. The more confident you become, the better your conversion rate. All right, that's the recipe, all right? And you just got to, and that one didn't work, okay, I'll try another one. Make sure there wasn't another variable in play, right? Say, hey, look, the College Bowl system national championship game was on that day, all right, may affect your turnout. Okay, so don't judge the house just because of that. Fair enough? All right, we got to roll. Okay, we'll get through this. Bank owned open house, converting, here we go. I'm talking a lot about this. All right, how are we going to get it? Because that's the key. All right, all the traffic in the world unconverted means nothing. Just names on a list. Who cares? All right? Become that. Right? We talked about that with Dodie, right, when my investor client walked through. All right, we have a class at FHR University, Speak the Language of an Investor, it's called. Look it up on FHR University. It's a great class. All right? Teaches you how to talk their language because it's just like talking French to a French-speaking person, right? You start talking about, well, look at the lovely curtains over the, and the investor's like, who gives a flying flip? What's my ROI, right? Okay, where's show me the money. Okay, that's all they want to know. This, you got to be really good at that because you're going to meet them, right? By the way, work them with vigor. They are the best referral source you ever will have. First-time home buyers are loyal, okay? They tend to go to number 4 easier than everybody else, okay? And once they are loyal, they will refer the ever-loving bejesus out of you. That's a Tennessee term, bejesus, okay? Okay, that's like fixing to, all right? We don't say getting ready to, we're fixing to, all right?
Come by and scoop you up.
Scoop you up. List by referral only. Stop dancing for your dinner. Okay, your listings come as a result of your buyers that are satisfied and they tell their aunt about you. And you walk in and you don't have to do a listing presentation. You do a CMA analysis and have them sign listing documents. It's not this 48-page high glossy print. I'm the best thing that's ever been since, how many homes have you sold in here? None. All right? Okay. And so all your high glossy, you say, hey, you know what, you should have, you know what, whereas when the niece tells the aunt you got to use Doty, right, you win. Okay? No one else gets interviewed. It's hard to lose when no one else gets a shot. If you lose that one, you got problems, all right? Okay, if there's no one else coming in and the deal's yours and you go in and screw it up, I can't help you there, all right? All right, but if you're saying, hey, look, how do I get the one where I'm going to be in and 5 other people are coming in and all 4 or 5 of the others have been in the real estate business for 32 years and sold $14 billion in this neighborhood, okay, you're going to lose. I could tell you otherwise. I could try and blow smoke up your backside and pretend like unicorns show up in my front yard every day too, but they don't, all right? Okay, so we just like reality around here, okay? All right, this is simple. Momto, all right? Dan, you guys read the book? Yes. All right, so we're going to cover some of this. We'll cover this next time a little bit, all right? But in the book, here's the whole idea. The first part of the book, okay, remember he signs up for training, all right, and goes to this guy's coaching, goes to 7 different coaching sessions. You can start to reread some of those. There are so many ideas in that book, it'd be hard to implement all of them, all right? Here's the idea I want to get across to you. Stop asking for referrals. You have not earned the right. Right, and that's our other hashtag, earn the right. Remember about the Brentwood Baptist Church who goes and helps people with their medical and dental needs and then ministers to their spiritual needs because they've earned the right to talk about spiritual things with them once I've fixed your cavity. Yeah. Right? You've got some credibility, got some street cred, if you will. All right, let's go and make my gangsters in the house. All right? Okay? All right, there you go. All right, got some gang signs going on. All right? All right? So... Got a problem with that, Ashlyn? We just have fun around here, don't we? All right. So, generosity generation says just go give massive value first. You go give it with a garden hose, it comes roaring back at you with a fire hose. If that's your job every day, what's your job? Hey, what do you do? I just go give massive value to people. Right? That's what I do. Isn't that fun? Okay? That's a better way to live. Okay? But there's a great book by Og Mandino called The Better Way to Live, by the way, so you might want to check that out. Old way versus the new way. This is, by the way, the pages reference are in the hardcover copy of the book, so if you got the one, don't pay attention to the page references. But he talks about the old way is trying to market to all these strangers and try and talk strangers into doing business with you, right? Versus the new one. Now, I'm kind of anti the corn planting, because if somebody walks up, they're a stranger, right? But with me, they're not a stranger for long. Or if they are a stranger, they're going to stay a stranger pretty quickly, right? Say, look, you know what I mean? We're going to dialogue. We're going to have an interaction here. You know, I'm assuming you're at a real estate open house because you have a real estate interest. If you're here just to shoot the shooby-doo, all right, I don't have time. Okay? All right, go do that down at the local pub. All right? I'm here to I'm on duty here. All right? Got work to get done. But old way versus the new way, we're just going to take people that the 150 that know, like, and trust us and help them. And the more we help them, then we become more knowable, more likable, more trustable. All right? And the more knowable, likable, trustable we are, the more introductions we get to their family and friends that just drop business in our lap. Is that a good thing? Absolutely. That's where we want to be. In the meantime, though, that takes a little bit of time to foster those relationships and get that going. That doesn't help me sell a home next week. Right? You can start the process. You got to plant the sapling in the ground. That's why we call it orange groves, right? It's going to take some while to grow, though. Okay, corn is fast. All right, I'm here to tell you what we just talked about, and you start to have that mindset shift at your open houses, all right, you're going to come back here winners and ready. You're going to have contracts with people that don't know you today. By the way, go sit in an open house this afternoon. Why? It's Wednesday. I know. Nowhere in Chapter 475 Florida statute does it say you can't have an open house, all right, on a Wednesday afternoon. I've checked. I've looked it up several times, all right, called the legal hotline, all right? Okay, nowhere does it say it only has to be Monday through or Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 4. All right? Go do it. Be unconventional. Be a disruptor. You know what a disruptor is? Dollar Shave Club. That's a disruptor. Not that you would know. We're heading into ski season. Here we go. That's right, exactly. Well, here's the deal, though. Dollar Shave Club is a huge disruptor in the industry. All right? I had never seen, I'd seen a few Mach 3, but Gillette, they're having to come out with some new commercials. You pay attention, what's going on, right? Okay, Dollar Shave Club is a dude who said, hey, look, razors they joke about the fact that razors, you go to Walgreens and you go to buy blades and you have to they have to open up a locked case, right? Okay, right? They're like, holy smokes, man, why are these things? Are they made of gold or what?
Yeah.
Right? And so they said, basically they're saying, hey, look, the industry's gotten out of control, and so they're overcharging for this, so I'm going to do it for a cheaper price. So he's a disruptor in a big way, right?
And they have a
Shipped to your house every, it's like,
Like it's some sort of monthly thing.
yeah, it's like a monthly thing. It's renewed. Hey, look, I have to worry about buying, I don't have to worry about getting something. I need a razor open on aisle 13, right? Okay, no need of that. They joke about that, and so Gillette's having to answer that and saying, hey, look, we're getting our teeth kicked in,
Now
right?
they have it for girls, for women.
That's right. See, why wouldn't they? That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
they did.
And the dude who started was like a college dropout, and just said, hey, look, I can do this better, right? Started. It's all these things, right? But be a disruptor. Do things differently, all right? Why not? Why not? Okay? What can I do to help you? What do you need right now? Remember, that's the language we talk. That's how we talk. Instead of, hey, because we've been taught prior from real estate, right? At the end of every conversation, end it with, by the way, if anybody you know looking to buy or sell real estate, I really appreciate a referral, right? These people are like, ick, man. Every time I talk to you, I feel like I gotta take a shower when I'm done. It's like slimy, right? Okay, seriously, most realtors are slimy and like, hey, you invited me for coffee so that you can either A, sell me essential oils or get me, try and ask me for a real estate business, right? How about we just, get together for coffee so you can check up and see how my granddaughters are, right? Let's do that, okay? They do, exactly. We talked about this earlier, learn, implement, fail, and evaluate, right? We learn it, we implement, we fail sometimes, and then we evaluate that failure so we can learn better next time and be better the next time. You are way ahead of everybody else that hasn't done a bank-owned foreclosure or bank foreclosure open house because you've done them, all right? You've done this and this, some of this, right? Now we're doing the midst of evaluating, and next time you come out here to implement, you're going to be ahead of the game because you've evaluated some of that failure. Nothing wrong with that. There's no failure to evaluate if you don't implement, all right? So you've got to go start it, all right? Communication pyramid, and we've got, all right, this is simple, I got this. Here's some things, you ready? Here's some challenges for you between now and the next time. The morning ritual, we look it up in the book, the pre-sleep. By the way, does everybody know the book? The book is 7 Levels of Communication by Michael Mayer, all right? Pre-sleep ritual, pre-leave ritual, 1st and 10. By the way, we don't have time to cover this. We'll cover this in an upcoming session. The 1st and 10 is gold. All right? What we teach in the 1st and 10 will revolutionize your life. It's kind of like going on vacation the next day. All right? It's a mini weed yourself. Okay? We're going to do that. We're going to time block, which is nothing more than, hey, look, plan your day. All right, physical fitness and eating right. Why? Because you feel healthier, more energetic, and more attractive. Yep. If I'm going to attract business, I need to feel attractive. Right? Now, you don't have to have the healthy self-confidence of, hey, I'm a 52-year-old with the body of a 26-year-old. All right? Okay? I've had to say that to myself a lot of times, all right, to convince myself of that, and that's why I'm glad Jeanette doesn't watch it, because she's not convinced yet. All right? So I've seen a 26-year-old, and you ain't it. All right? Okay, that's right. Okay. All right. Physical fitness and eating right, but that's my goal. I'm heading that way. 10 power notes. Look those up. These are the power of the handwritten note. Not to the people that showed up at your bank-owned foreclosure open house. All right? That's the power of booking meeting from a meeting. Right? I'm talking about people that know, like, and trust you, and I just want to check in and see how things were. Will they answer? Will they open a handwritten note? Yes.
Oh, yeah. I like that they honed in on unbranded, because I've always been branded.
Yep.
I went to Dollar Tree, got 50 cents. Oh, yeah.
And later on, we're going to talk about unbranded, branded. Okay, we're going to think about this. So here's what's something that really interests what people who know you. They know you are into horseback riding. So if you got just some cards with some horses on it, right? Doesn't say Future Home Realty on it anywhere, right? But it says horses. Now they're like, oh yeah, first name. Rebecca. That's Rebecca, right? So it's called unbranded, branded. All right. You see what I'm saying? It's not, because if you put Future Home Realty on it, they're like, here comes commission breath again, right? Even if you include a card, here comes commission breath again. They said they're checking up on I know it's the first week of school and checking in to see how everybody's doing at school and they like their teachers, but they included a card, which means they're really asking for business, right? You want to send these notes to people that know you, and if they saw some horses on it, that'd be really cool, right? Because they know you.
So just question, notes about what? Like how they're doing?
Yeah, anything.
Or you saw something
Okay.
on Facebook and you're like, hey, I saw this, congratulations on this.
Right.
You got this new job.
Exactly. Say just about life. Oh, can you guys indulge me for 4 minutes? Okay, so here's the deal. Okay? 4 means 8. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Ashley's been around me a while. All right. She looked at me like, yeah, 4 means 8. All right. So, yeah, that's Jim knows as well. All right. So here's the deal. Technology is great. Agreed? Technology sucks.
Yes.
Here's why. Okay. So, it's real easy to disconnect from people through technology. Everybody understands this?
Pretending to connect.
Correct. Okay? It's faux connections, right? How about this? Okay, this is my walked uphill to school both ways in the snow story, all right? So indulge me for a second. So 1994, all right, when I would meet somebody, all right, and we're going to go look at property, nowadays I can look it up on my phone. I got the MLS right here. There's a house 3 streets over. Let's go, right? Not so much in 1994. Okay, first of all, I had a pager, all right? It was awesome, all right? And I had a roll of quarters in my car that I had to go and use payphones. Okay, absolutely, right? So, yeah, I am old, I'm telling you, all right? I know it's hard to believe that a guy I'm just kidding. Same line, I keep delivering over and over again, all right? So, here's the deal. When I say, okay, Dodie, you're looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage north of Curlew, south of, you don't want to be in Pasco County, so up to the Pinellas-Pasco line, but you want to be east of 19, yada, yada, which basically means Highland Lakes, I guess, right? But that being said, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, I'd write it all down, okay, in my CRM, which was a spiral notebook, right, and with vertical lines drawn down across the horizontal, so that was my Excel spreadsheet, by the way, okay? So I wrote all this information down, and I'd go back to my house. No, I didn't have a computer at my house or even internet connection at my house, so I'd go to the office. Okay. What's that?
We weren't on computers in 94.
Well, I was. You guys were at the wrong office, okay? I was with Prudential Brilliant Realty, and we were brilliant, and so we had, okay. All right, okay. So, no, we didn't have, I was past, books were just coming out. I had computers, so I could type in. Again, I'm blessed, right? I thought I was, compared to the agents who had the books, I'm like, I'm way ahead of the game, right? So I'd go and type in 3-bedroom, 2-bath, north of Curlew, I put all the parameters in, right? And I hit one button, not sort, not print. You guys remember these pin-fed printers? You ever seen them? I can hear that sound like it's in my sleep, right? And it'd print out, and I couldn't drag this whole list of things, and they never figured out in the MLS how to make the listings the same length as the perforated page on that stuff. So now I have to go through and hand cut each one so they were individual different, right? Then I would just make a note. I'd put them all in order. I'd put them in geographical order usually for my client. I put them in order, but I would also be tracking, and my last column in my CRM, right, was MLS ID. And I'd put the biggest or largest MLS number. Okay? Why? Because 3 days from now, when Dodie said, is there anything new on the market? By the way, I did hit email because nobody had that. We couldn't email. So what did I have to do?
Drive it.
Thank you.
No problem. Eyeball to eyeball once again. And then 3 days from now, hey Bob, is there anything new on the market? Let me check, Dodie. And I just went back to her. Couldn't save the search. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, north. You got to put all the parameters in again. All right, come on now, software engineers. You tell me you couldn't figure out a way to save a search even back in 1994? I beg to differ, but they didn't. They wanted to punish me. So put it all in. All right, and I couldn't sort even and choose the 3 that were new. All right, I had to hit one button. Okay, print them all out again, all right? What a waste of paper. Cut them down, throw away 27, and keep the 3 that were new. And how do I know it was new? Because it had a newer MLS number than what my CRM told me the last one I gave her was. All right? So your whole idea of your job is hard.
Yeah, right.
Okay? But here's the problem. I started delivering these, right? And I go and hey, Dodie, let me catch you at work. You know, when do you take your break? 10:30. Okay, break. Hey, let's go. Boom. Inevitably, I'm there, eyeball to eyeball, dropping this off. Next thing you know, somebody peeks over the top of the cubicle. Boop. Hey, what's going on over there? Oh, Dodie, I'm helping Dodie buy a house. What? And they're looking, they're corporate America. Dodie's in a 10 by 10 cubicle. I'm in a 10 by 10 cubicle. That means we make the same amount of money. If Dodie can buy a house, why can't I buy a house? Hey, do you think? Yeah, let's check it out and see. I was getting business because I was actually working, because activity breeds activity, right? So I was actually doing something and doing it. We are losing that, right? Because now, it's automatically emailed, electronically, bam, 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 but we're losing that. I'm going to challenge you this. Find in your current contracts, in your current workings with your businesses, the deals that you've got going on right now, find reasons to get in front of your client. Deliver a dozen cookies from Publix. I know we don't eat them here because they're not healthy, all right? Who brought chocolates? Oh, look at that. Nicely done. I bet they are good for you. Dark chocolate and red wine, baby. See, you know what? Exactly. See? That's right. Exactly. That's right. Okay. So, that's right. Okay. Very good. But you drop off a dozen cookies to their work, and we're celebrating appraisal came in day, right? Loan approval day. The inspection was finished, and we negotiated repairs, and we got that addendum all signed off day, right? Find reasons to go hang out with your people again, and why is your realtor bringing in more? Why is your friend bringing in cookies? Oh, because they're actually my real estate agent, and really, you're buying a house? Okay. Why not start a conversation? It's not you asking for it. Hey, while you're here, hey, bye. Do you think I could? I'm just telling you, you will get that. Right now, you're lazy. Why are you're lazy? All right? Go find a way to get in front of people. Cool? All right, so let me finish this up. Traffic engineering, get an accountability partner. These are all things you're supposed to do. All right? Some challenges for you. All right, these are your commitments. Remember, this is what we've agreed to. You don't owe me anything. But if you watch the first session, we go over them a little more in depthly. We agree to read a book a month, get 8 hours of sleep, drink 64 ounces of water a day, 30 minutes of cardiovascular exercise at least 3 days a week, volunteer at a nonprofit 4 hours a month, donate 10% of your income to a church or a synagogue or other nonprofit. All right, now I love stepping on toes. You know, I told you that, right? Okay. Okay, worship once a week, preferably in some type of corporate worship setting. If you're de-churched, I get it. Go sit on the beach and pretend like there's a higher power that isn't you. Okay, all right? And just contemplate that for a second. Watch the waves roll in for a second and tell me how significant you are. Okay? Go sit on top of a mountain sometime, right? And tell me how significant your problem is. Like, yeah, you know, I tend to be a little bit of a speck on the fly of a gnat's behind. Okay? Love that one, all right? All of this is going to require discipline and accountability, but here are our LYs, right? Okay, and I know I'm at 8 minutes now. I said 8, right? 8 means 16. We just double it. All right, here we go. Next thing. We're sleeping here. Get a room. Here we go. We're staying all night. We're going to keep going. All right? You kidding? No. Get out of here and go sell some. Go sit and open. I challenge you. Who's going to go sit? Who has something to do today?
Real estate-wise?
Okay. Yeah, real estate-wise. Love it. Good activity. Jim does. He's like, shut up. All right? I got a lot. You see, Jim's text messages are blowing up right now. He's like, my deal's falling apart.
But Jim is awesome.
Oh, he is awesome. You kidding?
I'm in
All right.
can't talk right now. I'm in a meeting.
Yeah. Right. And then when he's in training, I mean, he can't talk, call Bob. All right. That's the text. All right. Good deal. Okay. All right. That's only when you're teaching. All right. Good. Any questions? Now, well, last thing. Next meetings, we are not going to be live together. Here's what's going to happen. From here on out, all right, remember the power of the group. It's going to be real easy. We're going to do Zoom sessions from here on out, okay? Here's the temptation. All right, by the way, the link to the Zoom sessions will be on the 100K group page, right? Here's the temptation. It's going to be real easy to sit in your fuzzy bunny slippers at home, all right, and watch these by yourself, all right? With no one watching where you can't have a bagel, all right? And no one will know, okay? Here's the problem. The group is critical. We're going to do some role play and all. I'm going to encourage you, find people around, within the group to get together at least 3, 4, 5 of you. Could be the Wesley Chapel Future Home Office, your office, right? Could be a Starbucks on da-da-da. Let's go meet at the Panera. Let's go to the such and get a room at the da-da-da library where we can rent a room and just be on the Zoom session together, okay? It would be easier for you to commute because you can do something that's geographically desirable, right, for you, right? So you could choose that, but I'm gonna highly encourage you to get together in rooms. Also post where you're gonna be so that other people, if they wanna join in there, they can come hang out, and you never know where I might be, all right? I might show up at any one of these. I might show up at my own house in Windermere. I might show up at my house in Nashville. I might show up from Tahiti, for all I know, all right? Got to check my calendar, even though I'm not flying right now because flu season is in play, and I've stopped flying, all right? So I got one flight left. I fly home on Thursday, and I'm driving the whole family back, including Trixie. So when the dog comes, we know we're here for a while, right? Okay, so Trixie's coming with us, and we're here. But, you know, I might pop in and do the session right from there, right? Or anywhere it might be, all right? So I'm not even going to announce where I'm going to be at this point. I'm just going to kind of roam around, and just based upon, I'm not going to tie myself down. I hate to be, all right?
Are they going to be live stream or going to be recorded?
They're on Zoom, which is like a live stream session. Not this, because that one I don't have to have Jim, you know, follow me around, because I need Jim for this, all right? But Zoom I can do without Jim,
Okay.
all right? So
And that's 2 weeks from today.
what's that? It'll probably be 2 weeks from today. All right, so kind of pencil that in. I'll look at my calendar by the end of the week and try and lock that down so you can start to plan it. But it'll probably be the live session. Now again, if you missed the live session, like my evening people last night were all upset because a lot of them are what we call bivocational, right? They got another full-time job, right? And so they want to do it at night. So they're going to get together and watch the replay together at night, but it wouldn't be a live. The live stream would be you can interact, hey, I got a question and all that kind of stuff. So that's even better. Cool? All right, so that's how we're going to roll from here on out, and we'll be presenting, there'll be new books to read and so on and so forth coming up, and we're going to do some different things. Fair enough? Cool? Any questions about that? Great dialogue today, okay, guys? Implement what we talked about. I'm going to challenge you, if you're doing an open house, whether it be bank-owned, regular open house, whatever it is, you know what? Put it out there. Just try it. Practice it a couple times in the mirror, saying you'd be an idiot not to use me. All right? You see why I do that? My veins get a little, idiot. Okay, I say, idiot. I practice out, you'd be a fool. I'm shocked. Right? Okay? All right? When many people choose to use somebody else than me. All right? It's just, and it is, by the way, you nailed it. Okay? It's the same thing over and over again. Right? How do you get good at anything, man? It's a spiel with a few twists. All right? But the key is you want to make it sound like too spiely. Is that a word? Spiel, right? People can smell a spiel in a while. So, and it's not. It's like, hey, look, I truly believe because I do. Because I truly believe if I wanted something under contract, I'd have it under contract by this weekend.
If I could share, what I learned before is let the ego out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
But what I learned today is when you say to the people walking into your open house, you need me
Right.
more than I need you.
Yeah.
I like that. That's mental.
Yes.
Really empowering.
Yeah, and it's funny because I do it, and you can do it without coming across as a pompous ass, right? But you still can say, hey, look, because quite frankly, do they want to follow somebody who's a loser? No, right? They want to follow somebody who knows what they're doing. You got to tell me that you know what you're doing, because I'm going to trust a pretty big decision to your advice. I certainly want somebody that's not, like, I don't know, maybe you should probably use a realtor, maybe, right? You should use me because I'm going to show you the value that even though, and where else in the world can you get the deal where as the buyer, the seller pays me to work for you? What a deal. What a country. Only in America, all right? I don't know, do they have it that way in other countries? I don't know, but we'll say it's only in America, all right? Good? All right, any last comments? We're good? All right, sorry, Ashland says that we've been way past 8 minutes, so get out of here. Have a great day. If you have any questions afterwards, let me know.